Lati, you want to do the welcome?
That's it up.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you all, wherever it is that you are joining us from. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another great episode of what it is that we call track and field, the sport that we love so much, the sport that we know we are engaged in. And tonight we have a great collaboration and a great conversation set up for you. As you can see, we are having persons from other networks joining us tonight. Definitely this is not HP. I am indeed Latoya. I am just joining the wonderful HP and being a part of the great sport and the great things that happen. And also here from Track and Field Partner, we have Xavier Javin also here, and we definitely have
Blessings.
others to come. Go ahead with it, Heather. That's all yours.
And as you said that, Latoya, I think there's someone trying to join from the back. Let us let him in. We have young Doc in the building. Doc, I want you to put your phone on landscape to line nicely with us. All right. Oh, there he is. There he is. Hey, how are you?
I'm all right.
Okay, good. All right, guys, we have a young Doc in the business. Of course, he is one of those little genius when you talk about track and field, and we're going to hear from him tonight. He is a doctor in the making, my young friend Akil Henry. And guys, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it is Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica, Oceanic, all seven continents, welcome to another night. We're on the road to Tokyo, and tonight with me we have track and field taught net with Latoya, of course, as she said before, and Davian. And I'm your
Blessings.
girl from HP Chat Track along with Akil. Guys, welcome. Welcome. How was your day? Tonight is about the sprints. It is all about the sprints. Episode one, we did the field events. We had a good chat there. Tuesday night, we did the quarter mile and also the middle and long distance events. And tonight, it is about the sprints. And the Sunday night, it will be all about the relays. But tonight, it is about the sprints, the 100, the 200, and the sprint hurdles. Of course, we're going to be looking at the event, looking at Jamaica chances, looking at the competition that is out there. And remember, guys, we have to be objective and we have to be practical. But before we go there, let me just share some information with you if you're not yet aware. Alia Hobbs from Team USA will be out due to injuries. Also, Gabby Thomas will be out, and she will be a key part. She's actually a key member of the USA track and field team relay. So she will be out. Unfortunately, both of them will be out. And Dennis Mitchell is going into the 100-meter with all four ladies. All four ladies, coached by Dennis Mitchell, will be competing for the United States. So that's just some updates I have for you guys. But guys, how I want us to flow, let us go from the 200 to the sprint hurdles, and then we climax with the 100-meter. Lati, take it away with the 200. Let us start with the 200 meters.
Good night again, everyone. So let us start with the 200 meters. As we're aware, then the 200 meters, if we're supposed to start, are we just going globally or are we starting with Jamaica or the US? Which one is it that you're taking?
All right, I love that question, Lati. And before we get into it, let us just bring up the athletes that we will be highlighting their event tonight, and then we come back and get to that. So here we go. All righty. So we start with the 200. Okay, it's actually the sprint hurdles first, and of course, you want to take it away, Lati? Give us the names.
So for the women 100-meter hurdles, persons participating from Jamaica, Danielle Williams has the wild card as she is the defending world champion from 2023, as you're aware. Akira Nugent, the national record holder. Megan Tapper, the national champion. Moy Brown will also be paired with those three, and then the alternate will be Shericka. For the men's 110-meter hurdles, unfortunately, we only be carrying three at this meet this time around. We have Orlando Bennett, who is a national champion, Tyler Mason, and Mario Prince, who is the NACAC champion for that recently concluded. And the alternate will be our former gold Olympic medalist, Hansa Parchment, will be the alternate for that one. For the 200 meters tonight, we will be talking about the defending champion in none other than Shericka Jacko Jackson. We will also be pairing her with Gabrielle Matthews, and Ashanti Moore will be going there. Ashanti Moore is the national champion, and she will also be a part of that for the 200 meters. For the men's 200 meters, we will be carrying our national champion, and that is Mr. Brian Lavelle, followed by Adrian Carr and Christopher Taylor for the 200 meters. For the women 100 meters, the event that everyone is vying to see, the event that everyone wants to see, and that will comprise of the national champion, none other than one of the up and coming athletes, one of our up and coming young stars that we are lot to see, that is Tina Clayton, followed by Shericka Jacko Jackson, and that will also have the woman that we have grown to call the queen of the 100-meter sprint, and that is none other than Dr. Shelley and Fraser Price will be in that, the woman that will be, carrying the complete championships on her back because everybody is going to see her do this last lap. And then they will also be paired with them as the alternate. For the men, we will be having an exciting competition, an exciting championship with these three men that Jamaica will be taking with them. That is the man that has been here before on numerous occasions in Mr. Oblique Civil, who has really looked really wonderful this season and very much promising. The man of the moment, the man who is deemed to angle the business at this round and deal with what it is that needs to be dealt with in none other than the fastest athlete, the fastest man currently in 2025, and that is Mr. Kishane Thompson. And he will be paired with someone else who is also have been here before and is also improving every race that he goes forward to. That is none other than Akeem Blake, and they will be pairing with the alternate, Mr. Raheem Ford.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Lati. And with that said, we will now be looking at each event by gender. The men, the women. Let us talk about the 200 meters. Xavier, repeat for Shericka.
Gonna be very challenging. Um, but she would want be one of the most experienced one in the field. Know what need to be done. I think we should still bet on her. I would still give her an 85% chance to come good. She still have one of the, or one of, would say one of the greatest coach of all time in her corner. One of the challenges that we have not seen Shericka race that much this season. I think she's hiding her hand. It's an indifferent season for the athletes, something new. So it's really hard to judge, but based on what she have done in the past, I know that she will deliver come championship. I think it's going to be very hard to take that crown from her.
I want to agree with you on that. I think Shericka is still the person to beat in the 200 meter. Akil, what say you?
I agree with both of you. Good night, everyone. My apologies. But I agree with both of you that she is the woman to beat. I also agree that it will be tough because she is up against formidable opponents. However, I believe that if Shericka, if her coach gets her to if at least 90%, given her performances in the past and given her capabilities, I think a 90% Sharika is still a formidable opponent. So I definitely believe that she is the woman to be in the 200. But she has some very strong challengers.
Indeed. Latoya, what say you? Latoya, are you with us? What say you?
I am with you guys. I was listening to all three of you guys speak about, a great athlete in Shericka Jackson. I won't disagree with her abilities and what it is that we know she can do. However, I would take it from the point of what she has done and shown us this season. If I'm supposed to go from there, then for me, she would be battling for that third spot. However, I will say this, the fact of the matter that her coach decided to have pulled her from the finishing or the completion of the Diamond League and no longer run on that circuit before now moving into Tokyo, it have me thinking, because knowing of his great magic powers that he possesses, we have seen that. I do believe that if it is that he got her to rest, it would make great difference. So for me, if Sharika comes and run 22 flat in say the first round or the second round, or 22 high, like 22 low for the first round, then I would say that Shericka Jacko Jackson is the woman to beat. And why is that? I say that because if it is that he gets her to that 22 flat in her first round thereabout, then it means that she would be moving into 21. And when she moves into 21 in that second round, everyone will be coming at her. And if she gets off that curve before them, then they will have to know, they will see the back of her because she's the defending champion. And I mean, the fact that she didn't show 2024, she's coming with a vengeance in 2025.
I want to ask a question. Do you think the wild card is a good thing? And let me tell you why I ask. I've been observing that a lot of times the athletes with the wild card, they do not work as hard in that season as athletes without a wild card, because we have a lot of wild cards going into Tokyo that it's kind of, they're not leading their event. So is the wild card a good thing or a bad thing, Xavier?
The wild card works in it has its pros and its cons. It robs us of Sherika competing to its fullest to her fullest potential this season, because not even Sherika only, you have a lot of athletes that just back off and say, you know what, I
Hmm.
just need to show up when in championship. So it robbed the sport of what really we expect over a season. Um, but when you look on the positive side of it, you really want to see a defending champion defend their title
Hmm.
in any sport of at all. But some fix can be, we can fix it a little bit or tweak it a little bit. There's some stipulation that need to be placed to it, because you can't have a wild card that just going to show up to championship. Some level of fitness or some stipulation, as I said before, must be placed on that wild card. You must compete at least 80%, prove your fitness, see if you're worth that position, worth that place. Because if the wild card didn't run, you're robbing the sport of somebody that really deserved that spot, that worked very hard for the season.
Yeah, I think the wild card, as you said, rob us of seeing more competitive races throughout the season leading up to championship. Because when you look at the 100 for women, when you look at Shakari, when you look at Shericka, when you look at even
No.
Noah started this season way late, but Noah is one that you don't sleep on because Noah looked like he will just get out of in bed now on the day and still put on a good show. But you've seen so many of the wild cards. I mean, we've seen Antonio Watson, he's injured, but you've seen so many of the wild card athletes going into the championship. They just kind of look sluggish, when you look at their event. Somebody was saying to me earlier this season, HP, do you think a lot of the wild card people are going to lose their event? Is it that we're going to be crowning new champions all around? And when you look at some events, maybe it will. Akil, your thoughts? You're burning to say something. Akil, are you hearing us? All right. It seems as if Akil is having.
Yes, you
Yes,
hear
I'm
me
hearing
now?
you now.
Okay, no problem. I didn't hear the question you
No,
said
I
before.
was
Repeat.
saying that earlier this season, somebody was asking me if I think a lot of the wild cards or a lot of the current champions we are going to be crowning new champions in Tokyo. And I think when they look at the women's 100, the women's 200, the men's 100, and so forth, the men's 400, do you think we're going to be seeing some new champions?
I do expect to see some new champions, for especially for the sprint event, because I think all of the events have changed drastically over the last 2 years. So, the standards in 2023 are definitely not the standards in 2022. So, I do believe that we're going to see some new champions. But to go back to the conversation about the wild card, in my humble opinion, they earned it by becoming world champions. And yes, yes, they weren't as competitive as you'd want them to be throughout the season. But at the same time as well, I think the wild card gives them a leverage that they earned in being world champions in the first place. So I'm all for the wild card. I I do understand that sometimes a lot can happen in 2 years, and things can change. Athletes not at optimum as they were 2 years ago, but I still believe that the wild card is valid because athletes did earn it. They earned it by becoming world champions. So yeah, man, it's an privilege, and I'm all for that privilege, especially in a sport of track and field.
And don't get me wrong, I love the wild card because it gives us an additional person for the event. I love to see Jamaica having four in events. I really like that. But Ashanti Moore and Gabrielle White, two newbies, Lati.
Gabrielle is more the newbie, you
Yeah.
would say, in the bundle, and I'm happy for her. I'm happy to see her get the opportunity. She put herself in that position to do it, and I wish her all the best. And I do believe that this will assist her in going further and knowing that everything and anything is possible. She can do it. As for Ashanti Moore, Ashanti Moore is having the season of her life
She
since
has
she has,
worked, yes. Yeah.
since she has come on over into the senior world. I mean, a couple persons well have been wondering where is Ashanti Moore. I mean, because we know the caliber of athlete that she is and what it is that she can do, or what it is that we saw in her. So to see her do it this season, great. I'm really happy for her. I'm really clapping for her. I am steering that ship with her and for her. And for me, getting to the semifinals based on the the field of athletes that we are, maybe putting up for these 200 meters globally. Getting to the semifinals for me is a gold medal for Ashanti Moore. So even if it is that she doesn't get into the finals and get into the semifinals, chef kiss. It will
Yeah.
be really lovely. Same as how, I mean, when Kevona Davis moved into the semifinals, and what it is that we saw from her at that point against the current world Olympic champion in Julian Alfred, it was something to see, and therefore it gives you an idea or a thought space of what is to come. And I do hope that more will come out of it, because as Jamaicans, we need more persons to step up to that event on both sides. Shericka alone can't carry the flag.
Yeah.
She's capable of doing it, but we can't allow her alone to carry that flag solely all the time. So yeah.
Just to share some information, the qualifying mark is 22.57. The world lead is 21.71 by Julian Alfred. Um, Xavier, 48, the quota for this event is 48, and only 24 women attain the qualifying mark.
A lot of athletes um, this season stayed away from the 200 meter. For some strange reason, they are not being competitive, or you have not seen that stock field that we're used to. Normally, you have
Mhm.
this competition that week in, week out, persons are pushing each other. So um, I was just looking at the numbers, and as you said, it's maybe the standard has went a little bit too high, or it's an event that a lot of persons are not paying attention to anymore. Because even if you looked at the Jamaican ladies, trying to find persons to compete was a challenge. And even persons who made the qualifying time didn't want to run the 200. So it, it's it's challenging. So it's not. I think they're moving away from it. It's not one of the easiest events.
But where are they going, Xavier?
um,
Where where are
so
they going?
to be honest, because if you look at Dejanay Oakley, I would have loved to see her in my 200. Go ahead, Latoya.
I raise my hand because I do not want you to emphasize on the Dejanay Oakley situation. I mean, you would have loved to seen her in the 200. She did make the qualifying mark for the 200 meters, but also she has done exceptionally well in the 400 meters. And to choose between an event that you have been doing all time this season and an event that you haven't really put all the work into because it is not your baby event, it's not your pet event, to take her and say, hey, because you have done this, we need you to go there. I believe she made the right choice. So I just
No,
don't want you to
no, I'm
expound
not
on it
saying that.
because we
I'm
just
not saying
like
that
her.
we
Poor woman.
should take her and put her there. I just think that there's hope. When we look at the twins, they're they're brilliant 200-meter runners, and they stayed away from it. And a lot of people don't understand. They stayed away from it. So a lot of athletes are afraid of doubling. We had a conversation where we're not having enough athletes. The old-fashioned Jamaican, you don't see one without the other. You see a Merlin Natty, the 100, the 200. A Gillette
True.
Copper, we want them. They were always doubling. That was always the mantra for our female
Yeah.
athletes.
We're not producing double athletes anymore.
It's like
Yeah.
I know what it is. Money is in the sport, and you decide where you want to make your money, and where the luxury is, and the hard work and dedication. You say will tell you it's really hard work to do it.
There's a question for you, Xavier. Somebody's asking, why do you think they stayed away from it this season? Is there a reason? And I don't think it's just this season. I think we've been having this for
So,
the last few years.
so
That
we
was
have been
that
in
was that
trouble. We
question
have
was
been in trouble for a
regarding the
little bit,
twins.
but
Oh, the
it's
twins. Oh, that question was for the twins. Sorry. Doc want to say something. Go ahead, Doc.
I have a different take on it. Could it be argued that You have less athletes doubling at an earlier age as opposed to just doubling in general because I'm thinking that athletes are wanting to have longer careers. As a result, in their early years, they're probably not double, so they focus on one event. But then, as they get better at that individual event, then they would take on the doubling. And it's something that I've observed, especially on MVP side of things, because if you really think about it, Shelley and Fraser Price, she only ran the 100 meters until she really got successful in the 100 and then started doing the 200 meters. And if you look at, for example, Shericka Jackson, she only did the 400. And then, gradually that season she stepped down to the 100 and now she's running the 100 and the 200. So I'm wondering if there is a shift in how coaches are preparing their athletes in order for their athletes to have long careers. It's something that I've observed, especially with MVP athletes.
Boy, I have to I agree, that Xavier made a very good point that when you look back in time, when you look back in time, every sprinter that we had, if you run in the 100 or the 200, you are running the double. Um, we can go back. He went back to Merlin Otti. He went back to Juliet Cuthbert. We can go back to Veronica Campbell Brown. We can go back to Aileen. We can go back to so many of these athletes. Karen Stewart, Sharon Simpson. These were all double, double. But I noticed that in the last few years, because even when we look at MVP doesn't create a lot of 1-2 athletes. They don't. When you look at Nesta Carter, Michael Frater, Asafa Powell, it was just one event. Shelley in the earlier part, as you said. Lati, you have a question? I saw your hand.
No, you just use the word that's double double. And once I hear double double, I only think of the
I
great
know the great Elaine
tragedy,
Thompson.
you know.
And as you talk,
So so
listen,
so the reason why I thought of her is based on what Doc said about he's wondering if it is that persons choose to do the one event when they are younger. But the fact that you and Xavier could name so many athletes who have done the double from younger times up, it means that that is not really the case, that it would be damaging. I know sometimes you find that the schedules are not conducive for them to do it. Majorly, we normally see the 4-2 schedule is not really conducive to allow the athletes to do that particular double. In I mean, over the years, especially in recent times, we hear the great Dr. Shirley Fraser Price complain about that because she just finished the 100 meters and then the 200 meters is just like a couple hours later, and that takes a toll. While we will see that for the men's side, it is totally different, and therefore, I mean, I do believe it is something for the organizers of the schedules to look into. I do think that this year World Championship organizers, the schedule for this one,
yeah.
yeah,
But
it is
but
really.
I have a question, Latoya. It's pretty much unique to only Jamaicans. You have a Melissa Jefferson going for the double. You have a no no
Right, so
no
that's what
no.
I'm
So,
saying.
so
It's not.
it's not
I was no. I was saying it's not because of them being young, because we can name
no.
so
So it's
many
not. So
athletes who have done
it's
that.
a problem that or a challenge that J3 or athletes are deciding upon themselves not
I would
to.
put this one on the
All right, not
J3.
J3. My bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
It's something that is the mindset of our athletes. We don't want to be, and we're going to be very practical about it. Because if it was a global thing that we see persons not doing it, because when you look at the Great Britain girls, they double. When
Mm-hmm.
you look at Melissa, the Americans double.
Mm-hmm.
Their schedule in A Field the other day was brutal, and they double. Our
Yeah.
athletes are, I love to say it, is just getting weak. they're getting weaker and weaker over the time because they're shying away from what our legacy was.
Some of our greatest sprinters in the new era, they're not double athletes. If you take Elaine out of it, if we take Elaine and Shericka out of it, that's it. If you take Shelly and Shericka out of it right now, along with Elaine, not even Shelly so much. Shelly did it twice, and Shelly, I remember in an interview, Shelly said to you, saying, "Oh, you do it. Oh,
Land
you
it
do the
again.
double."
Land it
The,
again.
the double was so easy for Johan Blake and
Warren
Usain
Weir.
Bolt, and well, Warren Weir just did the two, but Usain Bolt and Johan Blake made the double look so easy. Veronica made it look like a walk in the park, those athletes. So maybe it is mindset. Maybe I don't know if the coaches have anything to do with choosing the event, but we have not been seeing a lot of double. Go ahead, Lati.
I want us to give the twins grace. And I say that because they have not, as much as we have said that they have arrived on the senior platform, they have not yet arrived
No.
Mm-mm.
because of the potential that we know that they have. They have not yet arrived. Because I will say this, the twins that we are seeing last year in Tia Clayton and the twin we are seeing this year in Tina Clayton are still injured athletes. And I smile when I say that because we need to understand that the coach that they have done this before with athletes, have them do spectacular things before our eyes, being injured. However, if we give them grace, I do believe that they will do the double. And if they both don't do the double, one will focus on one and one will focus on the other. When we put Melissa Jefferson Xavier into this conversation, remember, this is Melissa Jefferson first year doing the double. So we can't use her
Exactly.
as an example because she have not yet, I mean, gone a year number two doing the double and stuff like that. So before we say that they are weak, let's give this
I would
generation
say weak. Weak is
because
a
Xavier used
strong
the
word.
word.
Weak is a strong word to use. I wouldn't say weak. I don't know if it's mindset. I don't know what's the reason, but all I'm doing, we're comparing data because when you look at the data, up to Johan and Usain Bolt. And that is why I keep saying the new era of athletes, we're not seeing a lot of double. And even during that glory period, we did not have a lot of double. We had more men doubling than the women because um, Veronica and Aileen and Sharon, all three of them ran the 100 and the 200 at the 2004 Olympic Games. All three of them. And I was like, wow, the same three ladies in the 100 and the same three ladies in the 200 that we created history. And of course, went on to winning that outstanding 4x1. Go ahead, Doc.
Yes. Just to add to the conversation, what I will say is that um, there's also pay attention to the level of successful doubles. Because if you even you look at Melissa Jefferson's career, right, from NCs, Melissa has doubled during her NCAA career. However, she was predominantly known for her 60 meters and her 100 meters, right? So obviously going into a pro career, she would have been focusing on doubling down on her 100 meters, right? And the 200 meters, with the 200 meters, like this year, really came to the forefront because you can see that she was stronger, she was faster, she was more focused, more driven, hungrier to be one of the best in the
Yeah.
sport. So when you look at when it comes down to doubling, I still believe that there are some coaches who, when their athletes are younger, they would allow them to prioritize one event, and then they gradually move over
We're
to
in
another event.
Jamaica, our
An
junior
example,
athletes.
not just Jamaica, even over
No, but we,
overseas as
we
well.
have
And
our
I'll
young
give
athletes doubling and tripling at champs. most of our athletes at champs run two events. They used to run three, and then of course ISA changed the rule. Name me one
Mhm.
top athlete that only run one event throughout their champs career. If you can name me one, none.
But
They
no, but the
all
thing
double
about it
at
just
a
now, I
young
was
age.
no, I was giving an example as a young going into the
Okay.
pro levels. An example of this would have been Dina Asher Smith. When Dina Asher Smith just started, she started out in the 200 meters, right? She started out in the 200 meters. She ran 2015 200 meters, 2016 200 meters, 2017 200 meters, and then it was 2018 now you started seeing her doing 100 meters, right? So I'm wondering if it's a trend where coaches are giving their athlete, like if you're talented, if you are a really serious talented athlete, and one of coaches are allowing you at a younger age, at the first 3 years, to focus on one event before you start going into two events. It's the same thing. Rashida Adeleke is a very talented 1, 2, and 400 meter runner. However, her coach is making her focus on the 400 meters. So it's something that I've observed with different international athletes, as I wouldn't limit it to only Jamaican athletes. Because I said before, what I realize is that more athletes or more coaches are looking at having 4 years, 6 years, 7 year, 8 year careers because they're seeing that it can be done through other athletes like a Shelly and you've seen and your American athletes as well. So that's something I've observed, a trend that I've observed on the international level, not just
I
in
would love
Jamaica.
for us to do a study. Doc, you're always saying this and that need to be studied. I think we need to do a study on why our sprinters now, especially now, prefer to do just one event, and that one event is the 100-meter that is very saturated.
And just to interject, Noah only did one
Right?
event. Noah did one, yeah,
Initially, he
Noah only did
started
one
out with
of
the
the
two. Yeah.
and then in 2022, that's when he started going into the. It's 2022, no, 2023. My apologies. That's when he started taking the 100 meters more seriously. No, no, my apologies. Let me correct myself. He was doing the 100 meters, but it was really 2023. He started to get some more success in the
Because
100
he did
meters,
it
but he has
2022.
been
Yeah.
focusing. He's been focusing on the 200 meters. So that's another example of an athlete who started out just focusing on one
Before we
event.
go any further, guys, welcome if you're just joining us. It is about the road to Tokyo, and of course, I'm your girl HP from HP Chat Track, and we have the lovely Latoya and Xavier from Track and Field Topnet, and my good friend Doc Akil here. And tonight is all about the sprints. Our legacy. It is all about the legacy for us, and we're talking about the sprints tonight and Jamaica's hope going into the 200, the 100, and the sprint hurdles. But before we go get back in the discussion, guys, I just want to say good night and a special welcome to some Olympians that I saw in the conversation here. I saw Dorothy Scott Genius, who is here 1980 and 1984 Olympian for Jamaica, formerly of Veer Technical. I also saw Vivian Spence Morano, formerly of Veer, 1988 Olympian. I also saw Ivan Saunders, Vonnie M, 1972, 1976 Olympian. So our Olympians are in the building and we want to welcome them. Welcome to each and every one. There's so many names, too many names to call, but of course, I have to big up our athletes. I also want to read a comment from Wayne Walker. Wayne Walker is saying, listen to Shericka's last interview. It's the hardest she ever ran a bend for a long time. That's what he's saying. And go ahead, Lassie, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to comment on Wayne's comment for a long time, because I felt like she made that comment because we know that since the World Championship at that point in time, 2023, she really haven't run the 200 meters and haven't put much into it because, again, for some of us who would have thought from the get-go, myself very much included, and I hold strongly on that, that Shericka Jackson became injured from that World Championship and she came home like that and have not recovered from that World Championship well enough to give us anything. And hopefully, because she was somewhat challenged, she had to do that bend in the Shericka Jackson way in order to challenge her own body to know where her
Mm.
body is at and how far she can push that body to, so that when it is that she is really ready to push that body come World Championship, it won't fail her. So I appreciate that she had to do that, and the recovery of that on her body was a good one for her, basically, that she said that. So yeah.
Yes, we are looking for big things from her. Let us move over to the men now. You know what I like about the men's 200 meters? They're all youngsters. LA 2028, they will still be babies and in their 20s. Brian Level with a season best of 19.69. Adrian Carr, young Adrian Carr that has been battling injuries from high school, Kingston College. He is in the party with the automatic qualifying standard 20.09. And Christopher Taylor, another youngster just coming back into the sport. He is on the plane. And you know something, guys? You know something? These three gentlemen in the 200 meters, they all ran at champs in the same era. Maybe different class, but they were all at boys and girls champs together. Xavier, you're burning to say something about this.
Now, my biggest sentiment is for Adrian, following from class 3 all the way up. I am so proud of him. 140s. Um, it's not. It's rare to see the Fortitians making national teams. They tend to stay away from national duties. And for Adrian to put his hand up, I'm really proud of him. And it's really, for me, going to Tokyo, that's a win for him, a win for his team. The hard work and dedication that he put in over the years has just paid off. So everything else for me is bonus for him. Christopher, rough 2 years. I
Yeah,
love the effort that he had put in this year. Not never have fun, and I'll tell you, never have fun. But this year he has won me over because he went out running, and every meet that he got the opportunity to, he showed up, and you can see that effort and that progression. A man on a mission,
yeah.
and I'm happy that based on the rules, got him that spot because he deserved it. He deserved that opportunity to continue to grow.
It's amazing that he's just coming back in the sport and he's ranked number 29. He's going into the event at number 35. That alone is a big accomplishment because some athletes just coming back would say, okay, let me just sit out the rest of the season and come back fresh. But he just came right out of isolation and right back in the game, and the young man is on the team. So big up to these youngsters. They're very, very young. We have them all the way up LA 2028. We are going to see these young men um, still competing against each other for the next. And for those who are not sure what LA 2028 is, it will be the Olympic Games, the next Olympic Games in Los Angeles, United States. But Vivian, 31 out of 48 made the qualifying mark. Still a tough
Oh,
one.
not worried. As you said, they don't run a lot. Not worried about it. Standard was a little bit steep. A lot of
Yeah,
a
one
lot of
thing.
athletes struggle for that time. And
Xavier, the standard was 20.16.
But
listen,
still
Come
see.
on, guys.
listen. How much you just said? 26.
20.16
And you
is
said
the qualifying
how
mark.
many athletes could have run that time in a,
31.
in a year span? And
31.
it's some adjustment. It's not, the sport is not where it used to be.
Do you think the qualifying marks are too high?
They are high because if you look, even if you look at, even if you look at the times in the past, 20.16, 20.16 is a semi-final time. Like you are running 20.16 in a semi-final. Like it really was a very fast standard.
The notion of the standard is 2 years ago we expected our athletes to progress to 20 to that time because that's what it is
Mhm.
based off. We saw what was there. We said if they're at this stage, we expect them to reach and to our next level. Unfortunately, not all the athletes were able to progress to that level. And we have to,
Mhm.
and guess what? They make adjustments to the rule. They allowed 48. They give you the world ranking. They give you everything. So the rule is not 100%, but it's close enough and still give the better athletes out of the bunch to still compete at championships.
Latoya, you know what I have been observing? And I don't know why I keep going back in time, but I realize that we are chasing qualifying mark more than ever. Over the last few seasons, I realized because when you look back before the last few years, when you look at the Jamaican team, everybody had the qualifying mark from the 100 all the way down to the four, the hurdles, the relay. But now we are in an era where we're chasing qualifying mark. Is it that the rest of the world has catch up with us as one of the co-hosts, or the standard, as Davian said, the rules have been changed, so maybe the standard are a little too high. Courtney Williams, welcome. He's saying 20.16 is fast.
So, firstly, the sports is evolving.
Yeah.
We as fans have been wanting the sports to be evolved. And if it is that we stay at the particular mark that it was years ago, then we won't be enjoying the sport as much as we're enjoying it now. Because if it is that the qualifying mark is, say, 21 for the males, they're going to
The
have
quota would have to be higher.
exactly the
No,
quota would have, because a lot
no,
of
but I think
persons will be making that mark.
Yeah.
Now, as the sports move and evolve, the times that is required has to move and evolve. Yes, I agree that, I mean, some of the times may be excessive or stuff like that. However, for the males to run 20.16, we didn't just jump to 20.16. We gradually got there. And for me, I think 20.8, and I do hope that it will change, because when it is that persons have to be going after these markers, it means that you as an athlete is also going to evolve with 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 the sport and evolve with your own technique and your own craft, because the world has caught up to Jamaica. Why it is that Jamaica may believe that 20.16 is fast and it is far reaching. I don't believe it is. The fact of the matter that we could have two men go run the qualifying time. And I mean, our national champion won in 19 point, and having his name in the conversation, it means for me 20.16 is not too far. Let us talk about Adrian Carr. Whoa. Adrian Carr has been knocking on that door for
Yeah.
season after season after season. And
correct.
injury, as we know it from school days, has been one of his problems, which has been a problem for a lot of athletes. But we're speaking about him. And for him to change camps and got it right speaks volume. And
Indeed.
I emphasize on change camps, because at times we are at one place for too long. and we're doing the same thing over and over and we're getting the same results, it may sometimes mean try something different. This season, whatever it is, if it is because the camp was changed, which we can attest to that in some avenue, and because of whatever more he put into this season, he acquired not 20.16, but 20.09. Is 20.16 too far? No, I don't believe so. The men are running 19. 20.16 is too low
These fans
until
are,
then.
hello, the Jamaican fans, their standard are high. I can't even read everything that one Jordan is saying, but at the end of what he's saying, is it that, and this is coming from Jordan, just to summarize what he said, is it that we're not focusing on the event, why we seem to be struggling? Is it that when a track meet is at the stadium, everybody lines up for the 100-meter, nobody is lining up for the 200 meters, and then when the time comes, people are trying to make that qualifying mark to get in an event to be on the plane? Is the
Some
focus there?
some athletes are trying when it is too late to get it because maybe the commitment that is required for it is not being put out. One, someone just messaged me and said that the quality of athletes is not as before, right? And I agree that that is so. However, even though the quality of athlete is not as before, are we going to allow that to change the sport and we lower what it is that we want, the standard? I mean, the sport needs to grow and the athletes also need to grow with the sport as well, in my viewpoint. So the quality of athletes um, is definitely totally different in every way possible. The athletes that we see now and the things that they require and they want from the sport now is totally different from the athletes that we are used to or we had. I mean, Ethlyn Tate, I thought I saw her name,
Oh yes, Ethelyn was there, another Olympian, 1988. Yes, she was there. She was there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, those athletes that we had before is totally different from the athletes that we have now, and therefore means that times have changed, times have evolved. Therefore, the sport needs to also evolve into what it
But
is.
let's see, this really need to be studied, because guess what? All of them born in Jamaica. All of them come up through champs, and we're talking about those from way back when you mentioned Ethelyn Tate, who was a little dynamo, formerly a Veer herself. And so I think we need to find a way to gather some data. What is the difference between a Veronica Campbell Brown, who made the Sydney Olympic team as a schoolgirl, 2000, winning a silver medal, and the athletes that we have now? What is the difference? To me, the resources, there are better resources now, the technology, the shoes, the everything. Is it a mindset? Is it that the mindset is different, Xavier?
So my take on it, and Lotto, I will tell you, I'm big on mindset. I think the mindset of our athletes.
Be nice now.
I'm being very nice, and I'm being very nice.
Please
I'm
do.
going to a Vernica Brown throat champs had a different mindset. She was a warrior. She wasn't offered $1 million sponsorship at 16 or 17. She wasn't privileged for that. She went into junior college, from junior college into NCAA. The work, the body of work is so different now. Our athletes are not understanding what need to be done to get where they want to go. And one of the main reasons is that we were all caught up in the glory of the Usain Bolt era. A good friend of mine said it was one of the worst things that could have happened to Jamaica track and field, because we got stagnant for a long time because everything was only focused on a Usain Bolt and a Yuan Blake. And
But they were the only one that were delivering. We had so many people delivering round about that time. I mean, we had Melaine Walker who
no,
was delivering. We
no,
had
no, not to cut you. Why the reason why I said the Usain Bolt era is because he was the one of the top performers. And I do acknowledge that we had a group of athletes that were performing. And that group of athletes is from an era that was one of the best of champs.
and they did not have any nil deals.
And they didn't have any nil deals or they didn't have any major sponsorship coming at them at a young age.
Mm-mm.
So it's pretty much, as Latoya said, the evolvement of the sport that we cried for. We wanted money in the sport. Money is part of the problem that we're having because persons are not putting in the work because they're getting paid before the work is done.
Yeah, I heard a retired athlete said something similar because if you pay a man before he works, what is he working for? So but I let me tell you, I am for them earning the money because I've always said that the collegiate system here in the United States need to pay the athletes. Fine, if you're not going to pay them while they're in college, work out a deal with them that you said, look, we're going to open an account for you. If you stay for the 4 years and graduate, then on graduation day, we hand you this account. But to give me a scholarship for, let's say, 100,000 US, and I am competing for that university for 4 years, and you're making millions of dollars off me, and at the end of that 4 years, I am not getting out of it. So now that they're able to earn, I am for that. I am okay with that. But I think we need to gather some data. We need to study this thing because when you look at the athletes who were running hungry, barefooted, have to be lending each other them gear to go around them, running it, take it off, and give it to Xavier, and Xavier go out there and run him a race. But as you said, the mindset is the mindset. But Lati, I want you to read some of those comments. Give me a comment, Lati.
Okay. Atlinte says the mindset has a lot to do with it because the training for 200 is rough. You had to run a lot of 300 for strength. Etlina, I have a question, and it's a question that has been bothering me for a while. Is it that athletes, especially now, chooses not to run the 200s because there is not financial gain much in the 200, so they tend to run the 1 or the 4 or the 8? It's been something that I've been pondering with, and I'm trying to figure it out for real. Case in Sports says HP, the difference is the desire and the drive overall. This generation is different from the past generation.
And
Akil?
I agree that they're different, but go ahead, Doc.
And there's an answer to the question. There is literally no, the 200 meters has lost its marketability. Like I remember there was one stage where they wanted to remove the 200 meters of the Diamond League program. I remember there was that conversation being had. So there could be some serious argument that the 200 meters, because of its marketability in comparison, when compared to the 100 and the 400, that could also influence athletes' willingness to want to participate in the event. But I just want to highlight the fact that the problem that we're having is that it's not necessarily that people don't want to run the 200. It's the fact that we don't have quality doubles. Because you have people who are doubling, but it's the
But you don't have
quality
to double. You don't
double
have to
units
double. Focus on the 200 meter. Make the 200 meter your event.
that is true. However, at the same time as well, you know, the 200 meters as a standalone event, can you really say that can you really say that that's an event where you can, you know, earn when you compare the 400 and the 100? Why I ask that question, because even in the US, right, you have people who focus on the 100, focus on the 200 meters, or you have athletes who do both. But if you look at the athletes who focus only on the 200 meters versus those who focus only on the 100, um, in terms of marketability and earnings and so forth, I wouldn't say I know the answer to that because I really don't. But an argument could be there that doing the 200 meters only may not be as profitable as doing the 100 or the 400 only, which is why you don't have athletes doing the 200 meters only. And if you look at some athlete case this year, you could argue that because the 100-meter team was so tough to make, then some people had to put all their eggs in the 200-meter basket,
But Doc,
right?
if you're an
Hmm.
athlete and you and your team is paying close attention to what is going on, you will know if maybe you should be concentrating on the 200 when you look at the 100 meters. Objectivity is saying good night, welcome. It's saying VCB was also exceptional. Not every athlete is. What makes you exceptional? It has to be your work ethics, Xavier.
Um, and you're right. And there's a lot of, as you say, if I'm an athlete and looking at the statistics for the last 2 years, there's only one event I'm going to go to my coach to run
Mm-hmm,
to try to make the Jamaica team.
mm-hmm.
Is the 200. I'll tell my
The
coach, guess
200.
what? This is where the need is. There's a need, and this is where I think I can make the team. Why compete against 20
Oblique.
persons
Why
that
complete
going
again?
some? Yeah,
Yeah, Oblique and Kishin and Akeem. And the thing about Jamaica sprinting is that when you find three people at the top in our
they stay at the
sprinting,
top.
believe me, they are there for more than a decade.
You're fighting an uphill task right there. I think it's the mindset. But it comes with the mindset again where can we take it back to champs? That prime event on a Friday night is the 100 meter. Any young young man that going up to champs, he wants to be in that key marquee event Friday night. The marketability, as you said, is different. Maybe we need to market the 200 meter differently. Maybe we spoke about Grand Slam earlier in the back. Grand Slam brought a different twist to it. So we have to bring back the excitement to an event to let people want to go back to the event. As you said, I prefer run 100 because I like the limelight. I want that excitement. Is the first thing that somebody will sponsor the 100 meter, not the 200, and that's what it is. And we see it in boys and girl champs where Friday night everybody goes to the stadium. If you ask them when is the 200 meter finals, they might not even tell you what they're just gonna run on. But if you ask them when is the 100 meter final, Friday night or Thursday night, wherever it is right now. So it's pretty much going back down to the grassroots and start building that love for that distance. Because if we don't do that, we're going to be in problem.
I think we need to be. I had Coach Maurice Wilson here last week, Friday night, and he said something that I think a lot of coaches need to be telling their athletes. He said he looked at Zandrian Barnes and said, "Look, this is where the 400 is at. If you know you're not going to run, you cannot run this time or you're going to run this time. Concentrate on the relay too. Do not leave the relay out of your thing because the relay might be the place where you're able to get a medal. Let us welcome Coach's Desk. Coach's Desk is in the building. Coach Minzy, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well enough. Seem to be having a challenge with my camera. I don't know why,
Yes, you're
but
buffering a little bit. You're buffering a little bit, but welcome. I hope you get it sorted out to come. and
I'm going
share.
to have to use a different camera. You're hearing me though, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing you and I'm
Okay.
seeing you also. I'm seeing you. Welcome, welcome. With us, we
Big up
have,
everybody in the chat and
yes,
the panel.
yes.
Lessons.
We have
Okay, well,
Akil on the building. We also have Xavier and Latoya from Track and Field Topnet, another colleague of ours in the business. And we're here talking about the 200, just about to move on to the hurdles. And, we're just looking at the athletes who are in the event, where the event is, why are we struggling, especially, on the men's side. Why is it that athletes seem to be shying away from the 200? And I love the 200 so much. That curve, running that curve is so sweet. But just give us your take on that before we move on to the hurdles.
I mean, I guess the people would have said everything in regards to whatever the audience want to hear. But yeah, my take on this 200, I am not too happy with it. I think we have moved away from norm where we were actually a doubles country. That's what I am used to, you know. And I don't know when and how we somewhat changed, but it happened. And to me, it really kind of give our track and feel a little flatline, so to speak, wanting of a better term. But I just hope that with a Brian level, some persons can, get back into the event and try to push the double so that, I mean, the double is always difficult to complete, but we have seen where it has happened over the years. And what I am used to, as even as a coach myself, if you do the 200 and you have endurance, you do the 4-2. If you do the 100 and you're fast enough, you're also going to be doing the 200 meters. So I don't know what has happened, but there, I hope that there's some sort of change going forward, because we can't take the 100-meter athlete alone.
Yeah, it's funny that it's either you were listening to us before or you have one of those minds, because that's what we were talking about earlier. The doubling, we're used to athletes doubling, and of course, we reel off an entire book of names coming from as far back as the 1980s.
Well, it
You
has
know,
been something that I've been always talking about, So I guess we are all of the same mind. So
yeah,
we will be saying the same thing. I've
indeed.
always been saying it on my platform.
Indeed, indeed. We want some more of that to come back. But let us move down now to the sprint hurdles. Let us talk about in the 200, we talk about the women first. So now in the hurdles, let us talk about the men first in the sprint hurdles. Our team doesn't look like how it would normally look, because our Olympic champion is not there, and our Olympic bronze medalist in Hanso Parchment is reserved, so he might not get there. Broadbell, who won the bronze at the Olympic Games last year, he's out because of injuries. He actually got injured at the championship, the national championship. The qualifying mark 13.27. All the men attained the qualifying mark down to Parchment. World lead is 12.87. Cardell Tinch, gentlemen, gentlemen, the sprint hurdles. Talk to me, gentlemen. Come on, gentlemen.
Um, it's an event that I don't like to predict, but
Yeah,
Cardell is been smooth all season, and if we go by consistency, I Cardell is the person in pole position to win. When it comes to our team, um, we're open that we see a good showing, just for them to be consistent, go over all the hurdles, and see where it takes them. Because, be honest, sub 13 is where you're looking at when it comes on to the male hurdles right now. Um, not taking away anything from our hurdle athletes because they are really good hurdlers, but sometimes we have to call a spade, and being practical, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
This event is going a little bit further than what Jamaicans are producing at this time.
Coach, what do you think about young Demario Prince? He was just in high school not so long ago. I don't know how many of you remember what happened at the Bahamas Carifta Games, but Demario Prince, formerly of St. Jago, seemed to be rounding into form nicely. Your thoughts on his 13.12?
Boy, if you're gonna ask me thoughts about them Mario, then remember somebody that I know enough. Of fair with seeing him at training and over these years. Incidentally, he was a long jumper too, He used to do well in long jump. I both did the hurdles and the long jump. Um, the potential was always there. I think he's one of those smooth hurdlers. And if you notice, the hurdlers from St. Jago, they have always been smooth, from a Rashid Broadbell to
Mm-hmm.
Vasiana and
Mm-hmm.
now Prince, and there are others. So I am really looking for him to do well. I think he's very fast. He's very technical. Um, he has had some challenges in the past, like you mentioned. Um, I would hope that he would have gotten over that. He displayed a little bit of it. I don't know if it happened over in Bahamas there when at the knockout, but he went on to win the knockout game,
Mm-hmm.
barring all of that issue. So I'm looking forward for him to do well. He really stepped up his game in the NCAs. He was I think he did well as a freshman at Bale, and then grew into the other year. So he's doing well. Recently signed a NIL. So
Woohoo! I love to hear that.
obviously we know that something will go on very soon for him, especially if he makes it to the finals of the of the World Championship. Um, I mean, when we talk about these athletes and what we expect, persons say that we are putting pressure on them. I don't think it is pressure. I think is the expectation that we have as fans and persons who who love the sport. So I'm really looking for him to do a pretty decent job. Um, yeah, if he can refine whatever he needs to refine going into Tokyo, then I think he has a very big chance of at least making it to the finals. Um, Hurdles is a rhythmic event. I
Mm-hmm.
would hope that he would have gotten some more races, but he went to the knockout games and he did well. I really see Tinch though and the reigning champion. They are going to battle it out. He's not so hot where he's at right now, but Tinch is really consistent
Is the man to beat.
doing, and he's the man to beat. I like Jacoby Tarp as well, that youngster,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
very decent hurdler. But if Tarp is in the conversation, then I am putting Prince in the conversation, because I
exactly.
knew that if Prince never get that poor start at the NCAA final, I think he would have done some amount of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the inconsistency I see with Prince, where if he doesn't get a good start, it's all over. If he gets a good start, it is good, and he might do the unthinkable, which we don't want him to do. So he needs to work on that to put it together so that he can, shake up down at Tokyo.
Xavier, Orlando Bennett, and Tyler Mason. We're not going to sleep on them because this is an obstacle event, and we've seen so. If you've been watching track and field forever, we've seen some of the favorites don't finish this race. I remember Gail Divas on our way to winning this race. I remember Alan Johnson. I don't know how many of you know Alan Johnson from the United States. Same thing with him. I've seen people like Lolo Jones. So many people have come so close. going in as the favorite and did not even get on the podium. Your thoughts?
Um, Not taking anything away from Orlando and Tyler because they're really good hurdlers. They're
Mm-hmm.
smooth hurdlers. So on a given day, a good race, good condition, as they say, is an obstacle event. Any cards can play. Keep consistently going over the hurdles. It's a rhythm sport, so rhythm event. So you take your time, go over it. And I think I expect good showing from them. I think I'll get them into the semifinals and see where it takes us from there.
Yeah, I would love that. I would definitely love that. So the hurdles is not one of those events that you can put on your pot and say yes. You have to. It is a wait and see event. Akil, you have any thoughts on the hurdles, the men's, the 110-meter hurdles?
Mm, looking like a US sweep.
A U.S. sweep. You're seeing a U.S. sweep.
Because US has four strong.
You're breaking up a little bit. You're not clear.
You hear me now?
Yeah, hearing you now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's looking like a US sweep because US got
I'm
four.
not hearing you. You gone.
You
Something
hear
is
me?
happening there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Black African is saying for Lolo. Let me tell you, Black African, 2008, it broke my heart for Lolo Jones. It really did. Kerry and Phillips, welcome, welcome. Go ahead.
You hear, you hear me now?
You kind of in and out. I'm not sure what's happening.
You hear me
Yes.
better?
Yeah, we're not hearing you. Maybe you should disconnect and reconnect. I'm not sure what is happening. But you're right, Black African 58. Lolo just could not get on the podium. And of course, that was the year that Dawn Harper said, "This is mine." And she did prove herself right there. So the hurdles is one of those events that, Xavier, and I'm not going to bet you. I'm not going to.
Nah, we
I'm not
can't
going
bet on the event. No, not that
Mm-mm.
one.
No, no, no. If you're smart, you don't. You can't. Look at even Kenny. I feel Kenny Payne so much. Kenny Harrison,
Yeah.
who for me would have been, I thought would have been one of those that dominated for a while. But the thing about the hurdles is that it is not, apart from Alan Johnson, who I think maybe won 4 world titles, and now Holloway. You don't have a lot of people that dominate the hurdles. It keeps changing. It keeps changing hands like a record. It doesn't stay with one person for too long. Go ahead, Akil.
Are you guys hearing me now?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
Yeah. I was saying that it's looking like a US sweep um, because US have four very solid and very hungry hurdlers.
You're still a little muffled.
I
You're
don't know why.
you
Yeah, it's muffled.
Yeah, it's very muffled. Courtney Williams is saying no medal for US in the men's 100-meter hurdles.
Ah, nah,
Courtney,
I'm not agreeing with that at all.
Courtney, I cannot agree with you, and we might lose our money, but based on form, these guys are just super clean. Go ahead, Akil, try again.
Alright, you guys hearing me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was saying that I wouldn't be surprised if the USA sweep the event. What I will say is that Jamaica has three solid hurdles, and I do believe that if all three of them or any of the two of them do make the finals, I do believe that they should be considered as medal
You're still very muffled, and yeah, Sharon is saying, thank you very much for that, Sharon. You're still muffled, Akil. So what you can do is just disconnect and
And come back on,
yeah,
yeah.
and see if you can reconnect. But yeah, what he's saying, it is doable because US is really looking good. Of course, I never count out the Jamaicans because, and this is championship. It is anybody's race. It is about who turn up on the day, who is well prepared, and who is ready to go. Who is ready?
I have been saying
Oh,
HP. I've been saying that throughout the the season,
Mm-hmm.
whatever these athletes are doing is very important and critical for the
Yeah.
big dance,
Yeah.
right? Whatever they do is significant to their preparation to
Mm-hmm.
be where they're at. However, when it comes on to the championship,
Yeah.
everybody is actually at zero.
I
Everybody
agree.
starts
Agree.
at zero.
Yeah.
And again, it is a mindset, it is a frame of mind that these athletes are in, especially with an obstacle event. And that's why I've been always saying, I love the fact that these athletes compete against each other week in, week out, because it's a rhythmic event and you want the best to be competing with. So you don't want, when you reach Tokyo, you're going to see a Maasai to the left, a Grey Stark to the right, and then you start to shake. No, the fact that they have been competing, they know what they're up against, they know what they're going to be expecting. So the onus now is on them to have that mindset that they need to lock in so that they can actually go into that event well, because the physical preparation is out the window already.
Yeah.
It's all in the mental aspect of the game right now. So I mean, it's very difficult to predict, especially when the back-to-back winners of these events are minimal. It can go anyway. Masai is the front runner, but you see Toby and you see Akira. Boy, honestly, I
I
can't. I'm
think
not sold on
Kobe.
the early right now.
I
So,
think.
so coach, you leave out Daniel.
Hold on. Before we go
And
any
Daniel,
further,
yeah,
hold
yeah,
on.
and Daniel.
Before we go any further, let me just correct something.
I didn't leave out. I just stopped.
Courtney Williams is saying he wasn't saying the US, he was saying us as in Jamaica. My bad, my bad. So he wasn't saying the US is not getting any medal. He was actually saying us as in Jamaica. So I just wanted to clear that up. And of course, Rocky Hill is saying, HP, it's time you count out the Jamaicans. Never, never, never.
You're gonna have Rocky Illa say things like these,
Rocky Hill, I will
yeah.
never count out my people. I'm sorry. I am
You-
practical though. I'm practical, but I'm not going to count on. But let us go back to the ladies. Latoya is just rejoining us. Latoya, the women's sprint hurdles. Jamaica, 1, 2, 3.
I won't necessarily say 1, 2, 3, actually. But when it comes to the sprint hurdles, I am big for Daniel. I'm big for Daniel. But one thing for sure is that the women hurdles, sprint hurdles, they show up and they don't give us an opportunity. Definitely, they don't give us an opportunity to call it and always be correct in choosing it. This is the event where you bet your house, you have to sit on the tip of the chair when the race are run, hoping and praying that what you bet your house for is what you get, because it is it's never always the same. But I do have and I do see Jamaica able to bring home 2 medals from that event for sure.
For
Give
sure.
my girl for sure. Yeah, man.
That's bold.
Wow, that's big. That's
We're
big,
not
Lassie.
frightened for nobody, but we respect everything. Yeah, man. Come
Lassie,
on.
that's
I
big.
will call that. I will call that. I've always said this and I've always held on to it over the
And you're
years.
talking Daniel and Akira, right?
Yes.
Definitely, man.
Okay.
Once, yeah, man. But for sure, definitely over the years, I've always called Daniel for a medal, and for me, she have always angled the business for me. Give her, if we're using all 9 lanes, 1 or 9, we're good. We are medal. If we're using 8 lanes, 2 or 8, we are medal. We not ask Christ.
I think I think
Wow.
I think on Latoya, I think Daniel is one of the most experienced hurdler when it comes on to the female. And I don't think she's phased by the times the other ladies are running, because she knows it's an obstacle race. And if she can, and I remember she's saying that her sister told her that she need to go over 11 hurdles the last time she won, and she did do that in front of everybody else. And it's a race that I think experience teaches wisdom. And if Latoya is right, they have to be really good to beat Daniel in the finals if Daniel made the finals.
This is going to be a big, wide open race. That's all I can say. Big, wide, and open race. That is all I can say. I mean, when you look at Akira Nugent, when you look at Daniel, when you look at Russell, when you look at Stark, when you look at Toby, those women are aggressive. They attack the hurdles in an aggressive, smooth, technically sound way. And I, if somebody say bet on this race and you get $1 million US, I would not know how to bet.
Hey, look like you love it 1 million, you know,
Yeah, man,
HP.
me love a 1 million. Yeah, man, yes, man. Me calling
But
for $1 million
all
US.
right, you see, if there's any athlete in this event that can actually win, I'm not gonna be as bold as Latoya.
And Latoya.
However, I am very realistic because the hurdles event can be won on this front. Daniel, if she has a very good race, technically, she's gonna be smooth. And if she's smooth and
The
and
rest is
and
history.
and, and technically correct, she has to be fast as well. Messiah is also one of those ladies that can be technically good, and she's already fast too. Daniel is faster than her on the flat, but it is about that technical aspect of the race, getting those 3 steps in between as quickly as possible, snap down that trail leg back into the first stride.
And
No,
after two, who has done that?
yeah,
Because
man.
as you rightfully said, Daniel is faster on the flat, and
Yeah,
Daniel has learned to control that. I think that is one of Akira's major concern. Akira is fast on the flat also, but I don't feel like she has fully mastered that speed over the hurdle, in between the hurdles that she have, which is kind of causing her to not snap down that trail leg so perfectly well as how we see Daniel or Megan Tapper does.
yeah, and as I was saying, you see, the technical aspect match with the speed is what is going to take them home. So I mentioned 2 athletes already, Daniel and Masai. You have
Masai.
also another
We're not looking
technically
to
gifted
Europe.
person.
We're not looking to Europe.
Hold on, man. Let me finish what me I say, man. Cause me I
Sorry,
go
sir.
right there. Me I go right there. You have a next lady that is a world record holder. She's very technical too. And guess what? She has gotten faster,
Master.
being that she has been with Glenn Mills. And if she gets it right,
Problem?
that are 3 already, you know.
Yes.
Now we are to Akira Nugent. Akira Nugent is the one with the little gray area in this bunch, whereas Akira has not been consistent. But I saw a glimpse of what I want to see in the Diamond League final, albeit she hit the last hurdle because pressure came up on her side, and I think she forget totally about the technique that she had for 9 hurdles and hit the 10th one because she was racing. So she came out of her technique, and this is where the race is gonna get interesting. You see, when these athletes execute, who can hold
Hold
them
it together
their
more.
mental toughness under the pressure. Then you have a next lady, Nadine Visa. She has come to the fore this season,
Europe.
and she can be one of those ladies that can clean something. Again, it's how you produce throughout the rounds, and if all of them be in at the final and all of them execute, is who have the mental toughness. When the
You
pressure
know
come
what?
up beside you, what are you going to do?
Coach, let me ask you a question, coach. Coach, am
Mhm.
I bullying you? Rob Smith said, I like to bully.
No,
I
man,
like
you know, so nobody can bully me though.
Rob Smith said, I love to bully coach. No man, coach I'm a virgin man. We not bully. We're passionate about the thing, man.
No, man,
We're
nobody can.
passionate.
Don't pay Rob. You see, if you two somebody enough pay no mind. One from Jamaica named Rob Smith and one from US named
Rocky
Rocky
Hill.
Hill. Don't pay them two
Okay.
person no mind.
Okay. And objectivity too.
Objectivity in kind of cool still, you know, but just don't pay Rocky Hill and Rob Smith no mind.
Go ahead, Lati. I love it though. I love that they're festive in the chat.
Rob Smith
Okay,
come
said
to there
world
now.
record win this final.
No.
Okay, it is what we want for 12-12 to be moved because we have seen the athletes, the ladies, hitting in those 12 and the teens. But I'm not so sure because as coach said, who can take the pressure more? Who can handle the pressure more? I feel like the thing that I don't like with the women's hurdles is that the semifinals carry only two. And therefore, it weeds out most of the time some of the ladies, based on how great these bunch of ladies are, it weeds out some of the ladies that we would want to see in the finals.
Let us talk about the
And
national champion.
the pressure is going to be on when we come to the semifinals. You said let's talk about the national champion in Megan Tapper. Megan Tapper
Yes.
is let's talk about the great Megan Tapper. Let me put the great before her. She's the only Jamaican who has ever medaled in that event at the Olympics. So I put the word great before her.
Yes, ma'am, you're
For that
right.
reason, even though I call Daniel Williams the greatest, but Megan, in her own right, has done her feat also. Can Megan Tapper put herself into the conversation? She has the great potential to do so. And as I rightfully said about the semifinals only being two, it is going to be a fight to the finish from the semifinals because semifinals being two, it is 1, 2, 3, and the fastest two. Somebody say losers with their time. It now means that when they get to the semifinals, it is that everybody is running as if it is the finals. And we may just see, if possible, we may just see the world record going in the semifinals and not get back to the world record aspect in the finals. We have seen that before. We saw the world record went into the semifinals. I mean, at
In 2022. Mm-hmm.
right? And it wasn't what win. It wasn't nowhere there. So I feel like the semifinals will be set up because you're gonna find that we may just have a Visa, a Masai, a Akira in one semifinals. Then we have a Kabunji, a Toby
And
Musan.
Kambunji is improving, you know. Nobody not talking about Kambunji. But before you go any further, Lati, Courtney said something and I agree. He said, we're going to see an upset and I don't disagree any at all. And let me just clear up something because objectivity is trying to get me $100 million. So I don't want to hurt his feelings. He's trying to get me $1 million US. So I don't want to upset him. So objectivity, I am very, very sorry. That was me showing you some love. Continue, Lati.
1 mil.
1 mil.
Are your new name that you know 1 mil?
Go ahead, Lat.
I have a little eye out for Kabunji. And also, even though we spoke about the pressure, under that pressure, it is also who runs the cleanest race because it is every athlete I go up against. If it's 8 lanes we're using, it's you against 7 other athletes, but it's also you against 10 hurdles. And we know the hurdles is no respecter of anyone. We have seen people dive through the hurdles. We have seen people over the hurdles, under the hurdles, in the hurdles, them on the foot, broken this. So it is you holding your composure, holding your mind, remembering your technique, not trying to overstride because that will also cause issue. So the cleanest hurdler, most composed hurdler, the one who is able to take the pressure, may not be who we want to see, but it will be one of the eight that will enter into that finals.
Indeed. Xavier is burning to say something, so we're going to have Xavier talk about, can I leave out Amoy out of the conversation, Amoy Brown, and of course,
Yeah.
young Shericka Hill, who is, even though she's an alternate, I want us to talk about Shericka Hill.
Just
So
before Xavier say anything, I just want to answer a question. Yeah, man. What's her name? Rob Smith. Jasmine Camacho Queen is has been hurt for a while,
Yes, she
so
is.
yeah.
she won't be there.
Mhm.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So a lot of us, and for me, I stand corrected a few weeks ago. Amoy, and I'll tell you, don't sleep on her. I don't think she have gotten enough race for whatever reason it may be, but I will give kudos to her. She put the work in. She did what she had to do to make it into Tokyo. And as Latoya said, it's an obstacle event, so we're not counting her out, and she's a smooth hurdler. I don't care how fast any one of those ladies will go. It won't be a quick time. It's about consistency over the hurdles, and it's about mental toughness. And Amoy, the amount of beating she's been getting since we know she's making the team, and we're saying that she's not getting the race and somebody else could have been better. I think she deserves her spot, and I personally think that she will be the surprise of the championship. I have in her getting into the semifinals.
Objectivity is asking if there will be a prediction show. Coaches, there will be a prediction show, right? We have a
No,
prediction
he said
already.
tonight. No, he's asking if tonight is a prediction show as well.
Oh,
No,
no,
no.
not really objectivity. We're just looking at the event, how Jamaica will match up to the rest of the world. But the real prediction show will come next week, early next week, because by Friday, by
And
next week this time, I think we start watching because Japan is what, 12 hours, 11 hours
yeah,
ahead of.
Thursday, yeah, we'll be in the morning session.
Right, we will be watching as we speak. So we will have a real prediction show, which I don't like to predict, but we are going to do it just the same. But if there's nothing more to be said on the sprint hurdles, now let us move to the 100 meters. The one the fans have been calling for all week, Lati, from last week. Every show we have, they want to talk about the 100-meter. Well, now is the time. My question that I will start with is this number 6 for the Mommy Rocket? Anybody? Take it away. Anybody?
So
Is this number 6 for the Pocket Rocket?
The great Shelley and Fraser Prize, the great Dr. Shelley and Fraser Prize, the queen of the 100-meter world championship, or the queen as most call her, is wrapping up. And I will say that whatever it is
Be
that,
careful what you say now.
no, I won't be careful what I say. It's my opinion.
Coach girl, this year now.
Yeah, man. That is why we are
Latoya, behave
objective
ourselves
and we're
tonight.
able
We
to
school
say,
our Gara script.
we're able to share. I think that you brought me on here to share my thoughts, Faith,
Of course, of course.
without any
Doctor.
whopping. You see the
Of
man on
course.
put on the glasses?
I'm
Let me
ready for
take
you.
your mind. The great Dr. Shelley and Fraser Price, as we've called her, the queen of sprint, as a lot of persons have called her and renowned her to be, is on the stage, is on the verge of wrapping up. And as most persons, everybody around the world, Jamaica at large, and everyone a part of track and field, do love her. But there comes a time when it is that we have to be real with ourselves. We have to accept what it is that we are given, and what it is that we have taken through her, and where it is that we have come through her. I do believe that she's also a part of the brought bad in the Jamaican vernacular, what we call, the stage of that aspect of life, because she have given us so much to to basically ravel over. And therefore, every time Jamaica, the black, green, and gold take the track in that event, we're expecting to win it, or we are expecting her to win it. In this time and this era, as we spoke about earlier, coach, before you came, the event, the sport is evolving, and therefore, because it is evolving, we also as fans need to evolve with it. And based on what she has given to us so far this season, because that's what we have to work with so far, her timings are not etched in that gold medal. We do know she's capable of pulling a lot of things outside of the bag. Yes, she is the legendary, and a lot of persons would love for her to get that and to have that and to carry it back home. But if that is not what is being seen, then therefore it's not necessarily possible. And I say that we have to be free and understandable. If it is that Tia Clayton did not pull up in that 100 meters at the national championship, what would we be for? Would we be calling for someone to be giving her that spot because it is her last hurrah? Would we be calling for her to have been the alternate over a Jodine Williams? At this moment, for me, I don't think that she is gold medal ready. My viewpoint. I do believe that the gold medals, I'm a panel to look like no one I call out people and I predict stories.
Davian, your time, because you see Lottie,
No,
Lottie going to get herself in trouble. So your time, Davian.
I'm one of the biggest Shelley and Fraser fan.
Balance.
So I beg to differ, and I had to tell persons you can't have two different ruler when you're measuring the same sport. One work for the other and one don't work for the other. I think we have not seen Shelley and Fraser Price at their best this season as yet. And Melissa Jefferson, 1065. Shelley has gone 1060. I always believe that Shelley has one more good race in her. And the only challenge I'm facing is, will it be the semifinal that's going to pull that race out of her? I want it to be the final. And before Shelley and put that last spike and pull that last set of lace, I'm expecting her to go sub 1065. So if somebody believe that Shelley can come and just decide, say, then she not gonna run anything sub 10.7, don't know who Shelley and Fraser Price is. Me not care how slow she did run 2 weeks ago, or she not run enough race. I expect her to deliver come championship.
Coach, your opening remarks. I realize everybody doing an opening remark. So
Vivian,
You really want me to say something?
No, man.
Well, no, wait a second.
beat and teach me, coach. Come, I open up my hand,
Yes,
teacher.
coach, your opening remark.
Beat and teach. Me no beat ladies, man.
Come,
I'm not the same.
Me no depend them something.
Come, coach.
I think the Virgin really say it, Shelley have I mean, I disagree with anything that Latoya said, right? I don't disagree. So let me get that clear. Not because I don't see me how to give some body language. Me just get excited when me hear about me Shelley. You see me? All right. So me here, Xavier, and I say my biggest fan. Or me only glad say him are just the biggest fan. You see me? Anyways. I like to put things in perspective and be realistic. When it was at the national trials and I was having the prediction show, the world and everybody on my platform knows that I love Shelly. And I did not have Shelly in the top 3. And fortunately for her, unfortunately for Tia, she made it. Right? Now, we have been seeing her competing, and yeah, people want to see fast time like my Bridget. Say him see a 10-6 or a sub 10-7. You see me? I'm not putting it that far, but I do see a one pop. And I've been having this conversation with a group of people, and the same thing what you say, I've been saying it. I don't know if at the first round, I kind of rule out the first round. It could be the semi-final or the final where she have one select in the matic for unleash. Where will it put her? I cannot say. I am not a prophet, and I will not profess to be a prophet. And for me, I just want Shelly reaching at the final there. You see, if she reaching at the final and anything she give me, I will be well pleased. You know why? Shelly has served with distinction. Shelly has served this sport tremendously well. And it would have sad if she fall out in the first round or the semifinals. It would be sad for some people. Me understand. Anything when Shelly give me this championship, I am well pleased. Because she would have done it all. Me not gonna be biased because she had the all and be all for me in a women's sprinting. But still have to be realistic. Because we have, and again, even though we know that these people have run 10-6 and 10-7 before, and the Tina Clayton is there, the Shericka, the Jefferson, the Alfred. I know it's gonna be difficult for her. Is it me? But when everybody go to the line, everybody start at 0. I think Shelly have one select in Imatic. That's how me assist it.
I think
get
so
deep
too.
in no more information.
I like all the opening remarks. But before we go any further, Miller is saying, can you guys name the finalists in the sprint event? I'm not sure.
No, man, we can't name the finalists yet,
But
man.
yes,
We get the start list yet.
We are ignore that comment,
the
man.
We don't get the
the
start list yet.
Remember, say you have semi-finals, which are gonna be, you're gonna have semi-final at death, you're gonna have
listen, man,
crazy
you're a joke, man.
semi-final.
Listen, me have 7 out of me 8 finalists, all right, right now, on paper.
You better make sure say he was a border. Now break up your 7 where you already have already. Because
Yes,
he was a border is a problem child. But just as
yeah,
said,
listen,
he
I
was
have
a border.
7.
I mean, has no problem,
I
child.
have
Still,
7.
No man, he was
Listen.
a border make we have 9 lane for world championship last time, He was
Listen,
a border make Shericka frightened, and give what to
they're gonna
Shaka,
get I'm going to give Miller a little touch of the 100-meter final for the women. And I'm glad that I had this day to answer the question. I wasn't going to share it until the prediction show, but Miller, since as you asked for this, my finalists, and this is 7 of 8, I have Julian Alfred, I have Shericka, I have Tina, I have Melissa Jefferson, that's 4. I have Shakari 5, I have Talu 6, and I have Shelly 7.
So why you can't name the whole 8?
Because there's always a little surprise.
So
I
we
don't
have
know.
asterisk beside.
Let me tell you who I think can be the dark horse for the final in this. Kayla White from the United States. Coach.
TT Terry was named to the team.
Yeah, she's on the team. But
Hey, them say TT. Well, me as a TT Terry not shot in a soul. And somebody said Eve was a border, she now broke her buckle.
that's why I said Kayla. I think Kayla White or Dina, if Dina double, but I think that's where. But these 7 look sure.
So none of England people, none of the British now?
That's why I leave the one spot and I said, Dana,
Man, a
is
one spot me there you talk about, you know.
There's one for me that when
no,
the
but guys,
function so
all
well.
right. The seven women that I just named, who would you leave off this list?
Shericka Jackson.
Shelly,
Shericka Jackson.
No, I think Shericka gets
if
into that
if
final
if
now.
anybody I leave off, mother say Shelly too.
I think Shelly is going to find
But
herself. Remember earlier we were
but
talking
me
about
like when me say
mindset?
that, you know, and Shelly does surprise me,
Well,
you know.
no, no. You remember what we were talking about earlier when we said mindset? Shelly has a mindset that we still cannot understand yet. Shelly's mindset when she goes into a championship is not ordinary.
Different for true, man. Me can't tell you that.
Shelly is not ordinary when she go in a championship. And Shelly, I go show it to us in the first round. She go out there and just go jog the first round like what she did in Paris. Who saw her first round race in Paris? She shut it down very,
Yeah,
very.
yeah, man,
So
yeah, man.
Shelly is in my final. As I said before, either Dina Asher Smith or Darren Nita or Kayla White. Kayla White from the US have been looking good.
Yeah,
So
Kayla White,
so
no look
Miller,
control.
Miller, let me see what my friend Rocky Hill is saying. Rocky Hill is saying the only Jamaican that has a chance to medal is Shericka. Oh, we weren't at the medal, Rocky. These are just the finalists. Go ahead, Latoya.
Onika, let me explain. Onika said, "Oh, Iwa, what did that? Where did that come from, Latoya? I need to revoke my name from you. What I was saying when I used Iwa because of what Iwa did at the last World Championships. We went into the first round as HP started speaking up, and we have athletes running 11, 11 high, level middle, and Iwa said to herself, "Look here, you guys doing this, I want to put myself in a space and a position." You are on 10.99 first round. Therefore, she got the opportunity to be away from the big names, the stars in the semifinals. And they were doing the batter thing. And she put herself into the finals because of what she did into the first round. So when I used Iwa, I was saying, don't let Iwa be that space where we're ending up with 9 lanes again,
No,
because
man.
Iwa caused the
We, sh-
9 lanes
should
to
even have a
happen.
conversation about Eva Saboda. Honestly, me
No,
not
we don't
lie.
want a
No,
9
man.
lane, we want
We should
eight
even have
lane. 8 lane we
No,
want.
if we are
listen.
gonna talk about Eva Saboda, I gonna have problem to get people. Shelly have in a final then. Me stop talk. Shelly in a
No,
final.
I didn't. I'm not putting. No, I am not putting Iwa into it. The
She's
final.
going
I
to
am saying.
create
I'm
another
saying.
lane.
I hope that we don't have another person who did what Iwa did, while we ended up with 9 lanes and ended up Shakari winning from
Listen to
outer
this.
lane 9. That is
Okay,
what I'm
me
trying to
get what you
say.
say
Toki,
now.
I hope I get it right. I hope I get this.
Exactly. That's what I'm
I
trying to
hope I get
say.
this right. Toki, otherwise known as True Blue, is saying Shakari to me will not make the
And we
final,
cannot say that. Well,
and
him
we
just
can.
said,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah,
people,
we can.
if we are gonna put Shelly in a final, Shelly run 11 to Shelly run a 10-9. Why Shakiri can't go in a final?
Yeah, I think
Right there.
Shakiri.
Don't be
When
fooled.
are we going to? When are we going to change the guard comfortably? For
Huh?
me, when
The
are we
guard
going to
change
change
already?
the guard? No, I don't think that we have changed the guard
Why not?
The
comfortably.
guard
Why not?
changed long time,
The
Latoya.
guard change the
Latoya,
fact.
Shelly is just on the glory lap.
Exactly. She depend the
She
team,
not
so she have in
compete.
a conversation.
Yeah, she
No,
just
no, no.
she
I'm
not
not. No, no, no. I
The
just
guard
asked
everyone.
the
change,
She
man.
get lane
question.
It
9.
change.
She
It
should
change.
Hold
get
on.
lane 9. I
I
don't know if I get lane
understand.
9.
I understand what Latoya is saying. At age 37, 36, 37, Shellyan went to Eugene and win the title 2022. She came back 2023 and she was on the podium again at 37 plus as 36. Last year, granted, she did not finish the championship. So I understand what Lati is saying. It is not being changed comfortably because
Comfort. It's not really about Shelly.
Shelly,
It's not really. I'm
Shelly
speaking about
should
Shelly.
not be
Comfortably.
based on age. Shelly should not be doing what she's doing. Shelly is disrespectful.
Well,
To who?
I'm not
they they
making
they
So,
are not doing what they're supposed to do then, because
there
the
you
just the
go.
the
reason.
guard has been changed. It's just that these
Not
folks
Shelly,
are
comfortably.
not
Shelly has
taking it
given
up.
up this guard long
Take it,
time.
take it.
No, I don't think
She
so.
said, take it and go on, and nobody no
No.
want
Nah,
it.
say man, Shelly
What,
give up that
what
man.
No,
happened?
Shelly
guys.
now hold
Okay,
on for nothing, man.
hold on there.
Guys, hold
Hold on,
on. One second.
hold on
One
one second,
second.
Latoya. Elaine didn't run until Shericka for win, right? The guard changed. People giving up. Shelly has given up the ghost for 2-3 years ago.
No, but
Expect somebody to.
Lottie not
I'm
saying
not,
it have a change, she said
it's,
not comfortably.
this
Shelly, when you look at
Why
Shelly,
why is it not changed
what
comfortable?
was the time?
okay.
That's the point I
Hold
want
on.
to know. Why
What
is it not
was
changed
what
comfortable?
was the time Shelly and won with at age 35, 36, 2022? She set a championship record, guys.
Yeah.
1072,
No, 10,
See?
60, 60,
1065,
67.
66.
67,
67.
Yeah,
67. Sorry.
67.
So even though Xavier is saying, Shelly is saying, take it. Nobody's taking it. 2023, Shelly came back and won bronze behind Shakari, Shericka, and won. And look at Shelly again on the Jamaican team at age 37, going 38. Shelly is 3 months away from being 38.
So, and that's why I want Lataya to explain to me, why is it a
No, you
situation
see,
where it's not
because I use the
comfortable
word, because
change?
I say the guard being changed comfortably, coach, you're automatically believing that I'm speaking of Shelly. And Rob, no, I do not want us to stop believing in
No,
Shelly.
I
One
think the
second.
guard has been changed.
And I
It has
use the
nothing to
word
do with Shelly.
comfortably.
She said
I use the
comfortably.
word
Yeah.
comfortably. I
And
never said that the guard.
explain that part to me now.
Shelly
The
should not
comfortable
make
part.
Shelly should not
No,
be
but
making the podium.
HP, she's saying it has nothing to do with Shelly. So I want her to explain what her comfortable means, so we can
Because
get
we
an
are okay.
understanding.
So do you believe that even on the men's side the guard has been changed comfortably? Because
Yeah.
we are still living in the era of the Usain Bolt, the great Usain Bolt.
How?
We're still living in 1 second. We're still living in that era, and people for coach. I'm not here to disrespect your coach. I'm just here to share, right?
No,
As
but
I also learned. But we are
um,
living. I believe that we are still living in the era of the Usain Bolt. I started my statement when I started to speak about Shelly, and I said she is a part of the reason why we're broke bad, because she has given thus so many, nothing to take away from her. I do not want us to stop believing anything.
Hold on, let me
I
read
want to
something.
be
Let me read
no,
something
but
before it run
people,
away. Hold
hold
on,
on the
coach.
HP.
Hold on,
Make it
coach. Hold
comment,
on.
hold on a little bit, man. Make it comment, hold on a
It's
little
a
bit.
gonna run away, leave us,
No,
man.
man, we can't scroll back feet, because if we think that the guard is not being changed comfortable, they must say a whole heap of people as say Shelly to give up our spot,
Who said that?
who said
Several
that?
people on different platforms have been saying it.
I've never heard that.
All right, make
People
it people
are
them
really
telling our
saying
chat.
that?
Of
No,
course,
it's
Shelly
not.
to give our spot
I've never heard somebody said she was supposed to give up our spot.
to
I've
To
heard person
Tia.
said that the alternate. I've heard person said that the alternate was supposed to be replaced
That is
with
what
Tia.
you heard, but I'm telling you what I've heard. Several persons have been saying that Shelly should give up her spot to Tia, because Tia is a sure medal list.
How
That's
do
what I've
we
heard.
know? How do we know that Tia is a sure medalist?
Because people have been seeing the times that she has been
Yeah,
running.
but you have
Worse
to
coming back
run.
from injuries.
You have to. That is foolishness. This is why we run the race, and this is why people like Bruce James and Hubert Lawrence will all, in their commentary, will always say, "This is why we have to run the races, because you can go out there as the best." As you said in a coach, when everybody line up in that race, they are starting
At
at
zero, yeah.
zero.
Me agree, me believe that.
Zero. Shelly, and we as Jamaicans, we need to stop it. When an athlete earn their spot, we need to stop this thing about we should replace them and we should replace them. If you earn your spot, you should go. 2008, we wanted to do the same thing to Shellyan, to replace Shellyan with Veronica Campbell Brown. If you earn your spot, you are to go. If you are injured, then that's a different thing. But if you have met your qualifying mark, how dare we want to replace people and change our people? What kind of message are we sending when we said, okay, you must meet the qualifying mark and you must come to the trials and finish in the top three? I finish in the top three. Why do you want to replace me with somebody who you think? We need to stop it, man. We need to stop it.
But,
We need to stop it.
back to what Latoya was saying, right? Because she said that we're still living in the Usain Bolt era. When persons are talking about Kishian and oblique, like every day, everywhere, I'm still want you explain to me why you said that the guard has not been changed comfortably.
It doesn't matter what I say in terms of the guard not changing comfortable for you guys to basically get it. That's how I go ahead, Eda.
No, go ahead. Let me let you finish.
No,
Finish.
I just want an understanding of why you say you made that statement. I just clarity me need.
The guard is okay. The guard is changing. Berto said me are going to circle.
Hey, the people then tough in a lot of you have to
Yes,
just
Lati,
speak.
they
You
tough.
can't watch it coming. You
They
can't
tough,
watch it
Lati.
coming.
Yeah,
Just
don't feed them my mind. Yeah, them.
You have to just answer when I ask and stop watching people them. That's why I
But
tell H people leave the comment, because if you're back, if you just in the comments, so we now get nowhere. You see what I say?
true. But as I said before, I agree with what Lati is saying, that the guard has not been changed comfortably enough, especially with the women. With
But
the men,
HP, me hear your point already. You know, you
yeah, with the
answer
men.
more she answer.
Oh, Lati. But it have to do with Shelly. It have to do with Shelly.
No,
It
she
has
said.
to do with yes, but what I'm saying is comfortably. When it is that it is changed, we would be in a position where we have people saying, okay, as I said, I never heard person said that Shelly needs to give up her space to Tia, but we wouldn't be in a position where we'll be having persons saying these things if it was comfortably changed. Change. If it was comfortably changed, we wouldn't be at a place where, in order to celebrate her for her last time, there's so many expectations on her to come and give us this gold medal
Latoya,
because the guard has not been changed. Give to us now, it would have been sufficient for you and it is sufficient for me. Even if it is that you go into the
no,
first round, go into the second round, move over into the finals and didn't even give us a medal, it is comforting to us. But because they still feel like, okay, she is who she is, we must get to go on. We have to get to go from her. Allow someone else, being that the guard has been changed, allow someone else to come up to the plate, and therefore we are able to believe in that person, give that person a chance, and take whatever it is that she has given unto us.
Latoya,
Whatever comes, it is still enough. That is all
Latoya.
I'm saying.
Me not agree with you, because you see the moment Shelly going at the final day at stadium in June, she is expecting to run to win a gold medal. Which athlete is going to line up in a race just because? Latoya, me not comfort.
Xavier, so therefore, if she don't give you a medal, you're not okay?
No, it's
I'm asking.
that has nothing to do with it.
No, I'm asking.
No, I'm okay with it. But then you have two
But
twist
not
rules.
everybody is, and that's what I'm saying.
No, that
Because
has
they're not comfortable with the change of the guard. They don't revere persons to basically be able to take it up and take the baton and carry the baton on.
From what I've heard, I believe persons accept the fact that Shelley figure sit down, quote unquote. A bit pretty much of that they must say, you know.
I don't like that kind of thing. No.
But that's what
I don't
people have been saying. I remember it's same. The conversation even went as far as saying that the same thing them did I try to Shelley in 2008. And the same thing come when she just has started her first Olympic, because she made the 2017, right?
Yeah.
2008, they tried it because Veronica Campbell was the queen. Now the guard has been switched to Tia or the twin turbo. And because they saw what Tia can do from the previous year, which was last year, the Olympic Games, people believe that Shelly are gonna go make up number. So she fit come off of the team and give
She
Tia.
earned
And
her spot.
J3 should do
Listen,
this,
guys,
J3 should do that, and
guys,
all of them something.
guys, I'm going to say this. We are governed by rules and we must follow the protocol.
Jamaicans lawless.
The rules say the top three. Shelly and Fraser Price earned her spot. Whether she going there to make up numbers or not, she earned the spot. If she did not earn that spot and somebody said, give her a place, then that would be a different conversation. But this woman at age 37 plus 38 earned her spot. So we need to allow the rules. We need to allow the rules to dictate the thing and stop trying to do this when it suits us or when you think it is going to suit us. Unfortunately, Tia did not make the cut because she pulled up. It is very unfortunate. 2007 trials in Jamaica. Melaine Walker was hot like bread out of oven. And she was at the trials. And Melaine, when she came at the top of the turn, she fell. She was the number one and she fell. She did not go to the World Championship 2007. What Melaine did, Melaine came back 2008 and win her gold medal 2009. These things happen. What a lot of people were going to say, give Melaine a spot? No, she did not finish the race. Just like Brian Level in the 100. He did not finish the race. So the next person in line has to be Raheem Ford because Raheem Ford has met the qualifying mark. Let us use the rules so we don't have to have these back and forth discussion. The rules and move on. Is this a golden debut for the two-time junior champion, Tina Clayton? Is this the golden moment, the golden debut for Tina
My
at the
sunglasses?
senior level? Talk to me, guys. Is this Tina to take back to Jamaica to add to her two-time world junior championship medal?
Early on, we spoke about them developing their skill. I think she's still developing her skill. It's creating that muscle memory and creating that experience to be great in the future.
Coach, is this Shericka's time to rise to the middle of the podium? She barely missed it 2023.
For me, I think Shericka and her team has been very strategic this season, and it is as a result of possibly what transpired last season. So they have taken a different approach. It seems that way to me, because if you're doing the same thing the same way, expecting a different result, that means you're a cuckoo or something is wrong with you. So I think they have taken a different approach, and it pretty much put the fans in some sort of uncertainty and not knowing what to expect. So she seemed to be on the lower end of the spectrum. She has not run a lot of races this season. So people are kind of betwixt opinions when it comes on to Shericka. I have seen and remember when Ilian never gone so hot 2021, which was the 2020 Olympic Games, and she can drop 10-6.
In fact,
Right? And then she go win 21 low. So, I mean, I think they have probably deliberately taken her out of the spotlight, the favorite tag. It could have two results. She could probably not rise to the occasion, or she could rise to the occasion. But it is something that we're looking into to see where she's gonna fall on that spectrum. I think there is possibly something to expect from Shericka, knowing the camp that she's in. So I'm just waiting with a bated breath to see what will transpire from a Shericka. I just plead the fifth where she's concerned and looking with great expectation.
Rob Smith says, and I like that comment. Rob Smith says, you can't change guard if the next man or woman don't show up for their shift. That's a very, very good comment. If you don't show up for your shift, the guard has, you cannot change the guard. I like that. But guys, let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask a big question now. When we look at the women's 100-meter overall, which female have all the boxes checked when you look at the reaction, the acceleration, the transition, and the speed of endurance to finish? How many of the women have all those boxes checked?
Say that again.
How many, when you look at the women's 100-meter right now, because it is going to take a perfect race to win this 100-meter, execution, acceleration, transition, and speed endurance.
If we're gonna talk about that, Melissa Jefferson will lead this, you know.
Who, coach?
Because
Coach, come here, me kiss you. Come here, coach.
she's one of the technically
The only
gifted
person.
sprinter right there in that
She
race.
is the only one with all the boxes checked.
Shelly to Shelly is technical. Not taking that away from her. Because I think her technical ability would have caused her to be in the 10-6 realms as well. Some things that she tweaked in that season where she was able to stretch it, even though she go up, yeah. But when you're talking about speed endurance, also one athlete that might, well, Jefferson has good speed endurance. Alfred comes off very good in the latter part of her race. Her speed endurance is there. Kayla White too. But I think if you're talking about a complete package in terms of all of those phases of the race, I would say Jefferson.
I agree totally. She's the only one with the box check, but
No,
She's one of those technical sprinters, and
yes,
then you have
well,
Julian. Julian is
yeah,
like more of a power sprinter.
yeah.
well, Shelly give you a perfect race all the time.
Uh,
She'll give you a technical race most of the time. 90% of the time you'll get
But
technical.
not all the time. Yeah.
Not all 90%. Sorry, she'll give you 90% of the time. The only challenge I have with Jefferson, and maybe it come to my fore now that I'm watching her this season, is that we need to see her in championship.
all right,
Knowing that she's the favorite tag, we want to see what her mental capacity is in championship.
before we go.
Because
Hold on, coach. Before we go to Lati, I just want to play an interview that I did with Melissa Jefferson at the Grand Slam a few months ago. Just let us play this.
A lot of times, I'm 100-meter specialist per se, but I'm always looked over and looked at as an underdog. And so this year is all about not trying to prove that to everyone else, but knowing within myself what I'm capable of. And so when I get out there on the line and I do what I'm supposed to do, and the rest of the world is surprised, like, oh my gosh, she did that, I'm going to be like, it was there all along. It's just a matter of time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you.
Bronze medal in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
What can we look forward to from you in Tokyo?
We're improving on that bronze medal, silver,
go
gold,
girl.
The gold. The gold is what I'm going
yeah.
for. But, I'm like literally just building off of where I was last year. Last year going into Paris, I wasn't the healthiest. I started the year out with an injury, and thankful enough I had people in my corner to be able to push and strive me to get to where I wanted to be. I was able to sweep the podium at trials with my teammates, and two of the three of us got medals in Paris. So, just looking at the whole group in totality, we're all building and looking.
So that is Melissa. So from very, very early out, she had her plans. And I asked her this question in May, early May. So she has been working towards this because, as she said, they are working to better that bronze medal. Lati, your thoughts?
Unfortunately, I didn't hear anything as it relates to the interview just
Oh,
now.
you didn't hear? Okay, okay, okay. But with the
But
discussion before we went to Melissa, what are your thoughts?
but I mean, Melissa Jefferson this season has been very much fully sound. As Davian said earlier, I just want to see her in the competition phase of things, how she fully materialize herself and fully bring her everything that she have out in the open. You may say, but she ran in her national championships just recently. Yes, and no disrespect to the athletes that she ran against, but I felt like, I mean, we all knew she was way up here and they were below her, and it was hers to lose and hers for the taking, and she went in and she took it. So I am open, and I can't wait to see her line up with the whole global ladies across the line going up against it, and therefore having the pressurized situation where everyone knowing that, hey, this is it, this is what needs to happen, and I need to get this right, and I need to get it out and push it out. But yeah, she is the technically sound one for me this season over the 100.
Coach Minzy, when I look, Coach Minzy, are you with us?
Yeah, man, me
When
there, man.
when I look at the women's 100-meter final, if the script go according to plan, when that gun goes, we're going to have Melissa Jefferson, Shelly-Ann, and Tina gone. A little bit behind them is going to be Alfred, Shakari, and Shericka.
That's what we think.
Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
That's what we think.
Tell me what you think, coach.
I will
What you see happen
I will
based on.
I will work put in,
Yes, man, we
And
know that.
remember, if we are be realistic, remember the only improvement that Melissa will make is into 10-5. Can she go into 10-5? Remember, her trials when she got through the rounds was not as devastating as what she's gonna face at the championship. So we have to take that into consideration. Juju, she not reaching a fair 10-6 shape yet. Or we not see she run the 10-6 yet.
Right now, all Juju need is a start. If Juju ever get that start,
And you probably see you probably see it at at
when,
Tokyo.
And the
when
first
the
round,
start is not consistent, that's where I get worried. Because all right, I was looking at some reaction times, and some of the best reaction times this season is Melissa Jefferson 0.13.
Yeah, but the reaction is different from the acceleration.
Yes, I agree. It is.
So you can have a faster reaction than me, but my
I still come
acceleration,
last. Yeah, I
my
still come last.
acceleration, which is the dry phase, is gonna be faster than yours.
True,
So
true, true.
that statistics is not something that really
But when you
fears me
have,
in terms
but
of
when you have all those boxes checked, coach.
no, not for me, not for me.
You're giving, I think, HB, you're giving a little too much credit for a situation that not happened yet.
No, I'm
Melissa
looking at
hasn't lined
no,
up against the world
no. What I'm looking at
as
is
yet.
the variables. It's the variables I'm looking at. I'm looking at the variables and what could be the possible outcome.
Yeah,
And
but
we've seen.
that's why I said HP that variable to me
Mhm.
is it is just to see who false start from who no false start. Pretty much for me because
I don't know about that. Not
like I
for
said,
everybody.
you can have a greater reaction time than me,
And you come
but
last, yeah.
no, not even come last through the acceleration phase, which is what we call the dry phase. I reached 10 meters before you, and you react before me.
Yeah, but yes, Madam Chair, remember I asked you the question earlier. Who has all the boxes checked as it relates to?
No, but reaction wasn't in it. Remember, I listen keenly,
No, I said reaction, I said acceleration, I said transition,
Oh,
and
me never hear reaction.
speed endurance, all four.
No, I
Because
never hear reaction.
all four is what will make up that race. But anyway, anyway, I get it. But I I'm not going to lie. I'm a little worried for my ladies. I'm a little worried for my ladies, and I don't know. I'm just a little worried. I don't know about you guys, but if there's nothing more to be said about the women, can we go over to the kings,
And
the
you see,
men?
as we transition to the men, we have to also look at one variable that we have to take into consideration too, is that over the years we have seen where athletes have the favorite tag
True.
going into a championship, and the pressure sometimes. That's why we say we don't know how tough mentally Melissa is to suck up that pressure and brush the pressure aside and go to do what she desires to do. Yeah. And we see it over the years where US athletes always have the favorite tag, most times on the men and female, and then them get brushed. So just put that part of the variables that
No,
we have
no, but
They
outlined.
are
to
good
be fair,
marketers. They are good marketers, HB.
no,
Exactly.
hold on. I love data, guys. I love data. Let us look at data. To be fair to them, if you look at who they were going up against over the last 10 to 15 years, they were going up against Jamaica. We had some of the best sprinters, women and men, so they really could not touch us at that time. So it's not really a matter of them get brushed. It's just that we were just superior. We
Yep.
were superior.
I have a question for you, HB. If Shericka team decided to run this season and run from Grand Slam till now, you think Melissa Jefferson would be on the map?
We don't know. We
Okay.
don't know.
So
We don't know.
there's
We
a
don't know.
there's a difference. One team hides and next team show up. I believe the Americans are the best marketers. Our system in the US is built on advertisement.
I
You have
don't
to
think
sell a
Sherika
product.
was hiding. I don't think Sherika was hiding.
No, I mean not hiding, but
Different
it's a
approach.
different approach.
Yeah, slow down.
We,
Slow
we
it
have
down
not
this year.
we have not found a Jamaican athlete since Asafa Powell that run day in, day out and show the world what he has.
True.
Nobody and do it. So we have to pay clean attention to it. I don't think Melissa Jefferson has
From
met a real
April
test yet.
from April to September.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Something got to give.
Something wrong.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No.
HP. No, I pulled that stat HP and just 1 point.
No, but
Who's saving that?
H
Who's
From
saving?
April to September,
a whole heap of running that man. What you
Who's
say?
saving?
he has
Who's
only
saving?
run 11
Who's
seconds, and we
saving?
have greater athletes than her that could not maintain 10, sub 10 all the time you touch the line.
So what are you saying?
No, I'm just saying. It's
Yeah, let me tell you what me I say. Let me tell you what me I say. Me don't know what him I say, but hear what me I say. It is, according to the science of the sport, it is very difficult for an athlete to maintain for so long.
Show me the data there, please.
Huh?
Where is the data? Where can I find that
No,
study?
but you can check the internet. And we can give you a whole lot of books where we have information where peaking is concerned, where all of these things is concerned. She has been running fast right throughout the year.
She started her season with 11.11.
And that was the
That's
slowest.
fast.
Yes.
And that was the slowest.
That's fast in
But what I'm
terms of
saying, there
female
was a
sprinting.
progression. There was a progression. She had to jump up and jump.
No, but
She
HP.
started her season with what?
11.11.
But
And
HP.
You know what people struggle. 1 second, Zeb. You know what people struggle for run
HP.
that?
I don't
Right
know.
after the
Oh
season.
yeah, interpret the
Everyone.
data.
11.01 to 11.7
What you say? What you say, man?
in 2
So
weeks.
hold on. So we've never had anybody doing anything similar.
We stayed. Oh no, it's not a matter of do
The
it.
length of
It's
time, and you
here.
stay right there.
It's
Peak.
here. Is the remember April? Jermaine said she took 3 weeks. Jermaine,
So what are
three
we
weeks
saying?
and come back.
So what are
Remember
we saying again?
For me, let me tell you what
HP.
me I say. For me, again, it is difficult for an athlete to hold on to whatever peak that they're running into for so long.
You hear what you said? It is difficult. It doesn't mean that it is not doable.
So, well, my statement not finish. And yeah, may I agree with you upon that. It is not difficult. That's why I say, come the championship with them rounds there, with the different type of caliber people shall run within the rounds, something might have to give. That's all me I say. Remember, me no doubt her, you know. Remember, say me say she have all of the qualities figure winning. You know.
Yeah.
Remember that. Okay. But
Indeed.
me still have a question mark because of how long and how fast she has been consistently running.
Yeah. Let us go over to the men. Let us now segue because we're not talking medals today. No, for the men, for the men, for the men. Let us go. We have Oblique Seville, we have Kishan Thompson, and we have Akeem Blake and Ryan Ford as the alternates. Talk to me, guys. Break this one down. Who of our three men, of all the men in the 100 meters right now, the same question that I asked for the women, who look more technically sound from gun to tape?
Oblique Seville.
Oblique Seville.
I think so too. Yeah. Yep. Lati, your thoughts. The men's 100 meter. Will this take a lean? Will it be a lean, Lati?
I had called Oblique Seville to win the national championship. Do I say more? I mean, the mishap took us away from that. But what he did, even though he didn't win the national championship, what he did and what he showed says from really possible. I just need him to remember that he is the man. He can do this. It is his season. It is his time. And just go there and do it. I actually do have Oblique Seville. I actually do have Oblique Seville to win the world championship. Once it is that he remember that he can do this. He has done. He has been here so many times and never gotten it correct to got a medal. And I do believe that 2020,
Germaine and
2025.
Forrester said we're getting the Quinella. I would love that.
Jermaine, for that to happen, it is greatly
Yes,
possible. We haven't seen it
I'm
in a
praying
long
for a
while.
Quinella. We have the product for it, Coach. What are your thoughts? Coach must be saying, what HP saying?
I wonder if I should be mum on this topic, you know, because I probably know a few things. But it's like how the Juju and Jefferson combination is hot topic. I mean, I have a similar resemblance for Kishian and Oblique. Oblique are the smooth, calm collector in terms of fluidity in sprinting, while Kishian is more of the power sprinter. Um, it's gotta be tricky for both of them. I think Kishian would have been getting a lot of battering from Oblique in earlier days, and then the tide just quickly switched, and then Kishian does start put on the pressure. Can Oblique rebound from that and just get that very good run and beat Kishian? One thing I know, Kishian's acceleration is one of the quickest in the world, if not the quickest. Because I look HP, me look on data too, you know. Yeah, man, me look on some data, and Kishian in all I'm race them when you come on team acceleration, him always in front, always the fastest, right? Um, I hear people talk about him. It's like how we call Matthew Hudson Smith 390 man.
Mm-hmm.
People always are run past him. Them call Kishian the 80 or the 70 man. But for a man to be 80 and 70 and running 9-7, well, him are going real good, you know. He just have to execute and believe in himself. But one thing I can say, he's not going to have a Noah Lyles and a Kenny for company. He will definitely have oblique civil. And of course, I don't like to predict, but I want to, Mr. Van. Anyway, it gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm praying for Quinella. But just to share some information, Rocky Hill is saying in 2022, from May to September, Shelley was running 10-6.
May to September.
Just wanted to point that out.
May to September.
And Troy Uber is saying, why do you guys always write off Akeem Blake? No, we're not doing that. No, we would never do that. We don't write off Jamaicans.
Which race Shelley running in September? Tell me now, man.
We don't.
Which championship Shelley running in September?
I think it was the Diamond League final. 2022, the season, I think, went to I think the Diamond League final in 2022 was what, the first week of September? Maybe that's what he's talking. I would have to go and look.
But this is a championship in September.
But what
we not see difference.
But what Jefferson is doing is nothing. I don't think it's nothing new. But we will see.
It is different because the championship is in September.
But we've had championship later than this already.
When? In October?
Yeah, man, we had 2019 World Championship that Shelley won was October in Qatar.
Was she running that fast?
We would have to go back.
All right, we now follow that argument. But anyways, me see what I say. But me,
I get what Scott is saying.
No, what he's trying to say is Melissa is running fast from April to September. That's what he's saying. No, we can always go back and look at some data to see if this is unique. Off the top of my head, I don't think it is unique. But as me say, I love to use data.
Show me if not unique.
So the data is HP is the combination of races that Melissa has run. Nobody over the last nobody in this lifetime has had that combination.
And that's what I'm saying.
Melissa has not gone. So Melissa has not run 11 from April, and we're now in September.
Let's check the data.
Zanjan, she is also running fast since Grand Slam in a 2 event. 100 and 200 meters. You don't see the difference.
And not even one enough.
No one day.
You don't see the difference.
Look at the temperature she run the event in too.
Exactly.
Look at the temperature. This is not normal.
I want to ask another question, but
Rocky Hill, she run in a September. Did she run 10-6 in a September? And did she run 3 rounds in a September? 100 and 200 meter and 4x1. That is what Melissa will be doing at the championship. Stop going like say, you don't want to come size up.
Jeff said, "Peer man people."
No,
peer man.
No, man. Wait. All right, let's not. All right. Moving right along. Back to the men. Let's go back to the men. Akeem Blake. Someone is saying we always write him off. We're not writing him off. We're breaking down each athlete and what we think based on what they've been doing. No,
Akeem getting start 1, 2, 3 for Jamaica.
That was my call.
Me done.
I was waiting for it to come to me. My call is 1, 2, 3.
See where I write off Akeem there. 1, 2, 3.
Marcia Gross is saying, HP, you're very confusing. I don't know what she mean by that. I don't know what she mean by that. So I guess because I don't want to get into the controversial stuff. I don't know. But anyway, Akeem Blake. Akeem Blake reminds me of Michael Frater in a little way.
That's
Um,
why he's coached by Mr. Reliable. So he must
yeah,
remind you of
it
these
kind
things.
of remind me of Michael. Michael might not be a big part of the conversation, and then he turn up a championship and surprise you, like what he did, winning that silver medal at the World Championship. So, we're not discrediting Akeem. Akeem is really holding down the 100 for quite a while now, being a part of the top three ever since he burst out on the scene. So he is holding his own. So you're saying 1, 2, 3, Xavier?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
it's
1, 2, 3. Not
a
one,
it's
not two.
guess what? Everybody will be at 0, and it's a possibility.
I think the people, some of the people in the comments, maybe they say that we're delusional. They don't realize that we're trying to have fun with this discussion and you know. But coach, talk to me. Akeem Blake 9.88.
If we're being realistic, again, Akeem has not shown us that 9.88 this season. Again, he has gone very close, 10-0, 10-0, 10-0, 10-1, 10-2. But that could be because of probably niggles. That could be because of other factors. I believe it could be because of niggles. Sometimes when you have some niggles, you can't fully extend or do what you want. You just do what you need to do to continue to get meters under your leg. So I think if Akeem can get that bullet start and be consistent throughout the rounds, first stop he could be in the finals of the 100 meters. But he has to be consistent. Stump is authority in those races. Aki might have to run 3 fast rounds if he wants to be in the final. That is my intake on Akeem.
My question now is when we look at the men's 100 meter, and just to share some information, the 100 meter for men and women will be on the same day, day number 2, which is September 14th. When we look at the men's 100 meter right across the board, um, technically sound, we did say it was oblique, and I did agree with that. But who do we think, when you look at the 3 rounds and running 2 explosive rounds on the day of the final within 2 hours, how we stay? Explosive rounds within 2 hours, the semifinal and the final.
For who? Akeem?
The men's 100 meter, yeah.
I mean, these are professional athletes who would have started training from day one, so their bodies would have been prepared for a situation and a scenario like this. I see where Akeem's team would have put him through a situation like that in London, even though the time difference is not as similar as the championship. But if that was a litmus test for him. Kishian would have been there and done that too. Akeem would have been, Oblique would have been there and done that. I'm not worried about that. That conversation
Mm-hmm.
where can athletes repeat after running fast in the
In the
in the
semi.
in the semi is a good conversation. But for me, as somebody who's involved in the sport, once you prepare your athlete them the right way, they should be able. Plus, if you have a good enough medical team that can, flush your body, do the right thing, uh, to ensure that you are prepared again for that second blow. Sometimes these athletes run all 300 in a 4 minutes, 5 minutes when them a dig them foundation. So this shouldn't be a situation for them. When they do them special endurance program, the most rest some people might get is a half an hour. So them should be good in that regard.
Jermaine.
if all the other athletes them are do it, why our athletes them can't do it?
Yeah, that's what I normally say too. But let me read a comment from Jermaine. Where is it? Jermaine said, Oblique and Kishane won't have to run 3 fast rounds, only one, and that's the final. Both heats and semis should be easy. Who agree or disagree? I don't know about that because by the time you get to semi, you have to be going all out. So I don't know what you guys think.
I don't know what German consider fast, explosive, but I know that they have to go really quick in the semis because two
The first
semis,
two.
two semis is going to be stacked with all 16 guys running sub 10.
Yep.
No, all 16 that is lined up, Latoya, is capable of running sub 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
capable sound better.
Capable of running sub 10. Let me
Yeah,
correct you.
I
Capable
don't.
of running sub 10. So you can't sleep on it and say this is a slow semifinal because they will, every single one that makes a semifinal is capable of running sub 10.
I
And,
don't
and
see people going to semifinals and run sparingly, especially if you're lined up with certain people. If
I
it's
mean,
three, if it's
the
three
three
semifinals,
semifinals, and
then it is the first two. Do you want to risk being on the bubble like Shakari 2 years ago? Nobody
risk,
don't want,
risk
they can't, yeah, at that level.
but what they'll do, the top athletes, yeah, there are two scenarios, you know. You might have to run extremely fast, and you have to come back into the finals and do it. The second scenario is that depending on who you get in that semifinal, what semifinal you're in, you could do a situation where you run that first 60, which is the acceleration phase, and ensure that you control the race.
And then you can shut
And
it down.
not even shut down, just control the race where you can finish in that top two. Because the shutdown thing can be very dangerous, you know.
True.
So it can be two scenarios. We're not sure yet until they run on the day.
Yeah.
And we see the list come back out based on time and position to see who they are going to be
we wait
facing.
for the list to come out.
Huh?
I mean, we have
No,
some of the
we have to
names.
wait. You can't preface the
Yeah, man. But what do you mean?
But
Yeah,
I
man.
did
So hold on, you can't tell me now who them are going to the semifinal.
No. Yeah, when them run the first round,
So
then
that
you
me a
can know. Not sure, so you have to wait on the list. I mean, when them run the first round, mate.
yeah, that's the list I'm talking about. The
No, but
second round list.
guys, we can almost have an idea who going to the next round.
No, but I'm talking. No, I
But
know
I
that,
understand
guys.
what he's saying. I know what he's saying. Yeah.
Listen, man. Me know what me I say now. I know.
But you're gonna have.
Well, I know that we can determine who might move on to the next one. I'm talking about specifically who you're going to meet in that semifinal that you're going to be in. We don't know who are going to run with who in the semifinal. That is specifically
Right now, once you
So
go in at
that's
the
what I was saying.
semifinal, you have
That's
to.
what I was asking, coach. If after the first round run,
we
and
don't
you
know the
see
list. That's
and
what
you
they say.
no, that's like it's a question I'm asking.
Yeah, but me have
I'm
to
saying,
clarify because
after the first round run, the heats run, based on those times, you are saying that if you did write them down, boom, 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 you are not able to say, okay, Akim and that's in here, so bap, without waiting on the list, waiting on it to come
no,
up.
I know how to do that. Yeah. But I'm saying,
that's what I was asking.
yes, but me still stick to the point. After the first one, we're not going to know until we put that together, or the whoever the World Athletics put it together. So we're not going to know who definitively these people are going to run after the first round. That's what I was making reference to.
But you answer the question.
Okay, good.
All right, back to yeah. So that is basically the men's 100. We are definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to a great championship, of course. I want the Quinella or the in the men's. I want the gold medal for sure. And we have.
I don't need it.
Hmm?
different now. Kishi need it.
We have the people that can do it. My only concern is that, um, believe it or not, the 100 meter, I mean, like every other races, but the 100 meters is going to be the person who really execute a perfect race on the day. When they come back in 2 hours, the person that is mentally put together, both physically and mentally put together, will determine. And we know that some athlete have a way for getting another athlete's head and thing, is who really can hold it together, don't panic, and just do. Go ahead, Lati.
Peard said Oblique will get a cramp and won't run.
No, you shouldn't read that.
Who said that? Jermaine?
Oh,
No, somebody named Peard. I'm trying to understand if we're just making
No, you know if you read
freestyle
this.
comment left off.
No man, no read it, man. No, you can't read
I
this.
not even see it. I swear I didn't even see it. No. We're not
You made a
superstitious.
deal.
Yo!
Coach, you're superstitious
No,
like that?
No, I'm not
you can't.
superstitious, but we can't permeate the atmosphere in certain.
True, man.
You see
I'm
me?
ready for go. That
Yo, my God, yeah, man.
go, Edda. I'm ready for go.
Lucky, why did you read that comment? Why you could just ignore it? Why that person is not a Jamaican. That person is not a Jamaican. That person is not a Jamaican. But in wrapping up, because I think Coach and I should be back here. Coach, we're doing relay Sunday night.
Me not even know, you know.
Guys, we're doing relay Sunday night.
But yeah, well,
Look here, man.
yes, at 5:30, you know, so if I early, me supposed to can do it today.
Guys, you want to join us for the relay on Sunday evening, 5:30 Jamaica time?
Let's see how the weekend goes.
A relay. Well, we will be doing the relay. We have to look at the relay and the selection of the team, and people thinking some people not selected and all of those things. So Sunday night we're back here with the relays. But overall, so far we've looked at the field events, we've looked at the middle long distance, the quarter mile in both hurdles and flat four, and tonight, of course, the sprints, what we like so much. And Jamaica pretty much have a solid enough team going into. We will be in a lot of events. That I can tell you. Multiple people will be in a lot of events, and we will see the colors a lot going around. So we just want to speak positive over our athletes. We just want to send some positive energy, positive juice, positive conversation, and cover them, however. Lati, I give you 1 minute to say your wrap up, then Xavier, and then Coach.
World Championship 2025 in Tokyo will be an exciting one on the Jamaica pathways. It will also be a great one to watch globally and not just our own, because a lot of things is happening in the space of track and field, not just surrounding Jamaica. Um, whatever it is that we achieve as a country, I will give thanks for it. And I will still be appreciative of it because I can't do what they do. And therefore, whatever it is that we're able to achieve, it's still good.
All right. So we need to give thanks for track and field because it's a sport that brings nations together. It actually unites the world in one space in this time. It's going to be a good championship. I expect great things. And it will represent very well for every different country for different reasons. And for Jamaica, it's actually something that we look forward to and something that we'll enjoy. So looking forward to it. 8 days away, early morning, late night.
Mm-hmm.
So
Need to get on the vitamins and whatever to stay awake.
Yeah.
Coach, what are your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to a good championship. From a track and field standpoint for me, not only Jamaica's standpoint. because I love track and field, so me I go watch track and field. Yeah, me I got a vested interest in Jamaica, but I'm also gonna be cautiously optimistic from a Jamaican standpoint too. Yeah, but I wish all the athletes good health as they go into um the the their final preparation to unleash in Tokyo. But one thing me have a problem with, um, you know what, let me just leave it right there
Speak,
because
coach. Speak, speak.
me don't want the conversation continue because me I go leave. But me I go say it here, man. You see, this thing where we're not getting in the practice for the 4x1, it
Coach,
need,
leave it for Sunday, no man.
that's why I say me never want to say it, but you say speak, it need for stop. Anyways, people, big
Yeah.
up on yourself, big up the people in the chat, big up to Lataya and Xavier,
Xavier.
Yeah.
big up to
Blessing,
HP,
blessings.
big up everybody who joined the show. Much respect. Final episode will be on Sunday where we delve into the relays. I'm going to
Yes.
tell you what go on in our video before Sunday.
Hear that, guys? Please to share that video with me, guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, everyone, wherever you tuned in from, whichever continent it is all about track and field when we meet. And of course, our interest is Jamaica track and field legacy. So thank you, everyone. Thanks to everyone. There's so many names. We cannot call all the names. I'm seeing 90 odd names and I'm seeing 100 names. But thank you all for being here and join us again Sunday night when we will talk about our favorite, the relays. 5 relays. We are in 5 relays, right, coach? 5 relays. The mixed relay, the 4x1 for women, 4x1 for men, 4x4 for women, and 4x4 for men. And of course, we're going to have a solid discussion come Sunday evening, 5:30 Jamaica time. If you're in the US, 6:30 for some of us, but until Sunday, guys, thank you very much for being here. And remember my 1 million US dollars. Remember that. Remember that. Thank you guys very much for being here. Lati from Track and Field Totnet, Lati and Xavier. Thank you very much for making the time out to come hang out with Coach Minzy and myself, Coach's Desk. Guys, please to go and subscribe to HP Chat Track Studio, Track and Field Totnet, and the Coach's Desk. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend and eat your rice and peas early and come and join us at 5:30 Jamaican time. Peace. Wow, somebody giving me $1,000 already. Nice.
No, man, I know you're $1,000 that a Rocky Hill and Toffee Road are going
So them
on.
betting
Them a bet say Jamaica gets.
and look how me.
I get less than 7 medals.
Well, when we do the prediction, we will see Paris. We had high hopes and we got what, 5? So the rest of the world has caught up with us. So yeah. But guys, thank you very much for being here. Remember to go and subscribe, like, and share. HP Shot Track Studio, Track and Field Net, and the Coach's Desk. We will see you Sunday night with more energy, more passion about Jamaica track and field legacy. Have a good night, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye. Bye.
Jamaica's track and field legacy is unmatched. It is a story of triumph, resilience, and extraordinary talent. But do you know the stories behind the athletes who brought us glory? Hi, I'm HP, founder of HP Chat Track. My mission is simple: to celebrate the rich legacy of Jamaica track and field and shine a light on the incredible people who make it happen. Winning that race was a dream come true, but the journey wasn't easy. It's not just about medals, it's about inspiring the next generation. Jamaica track and field isn't just a sport, it's our pride, our culture, our heart. Every week I sit down with athletes, coaches and fans to bring you stories of dedication, passion and legacy. Plus, we've got exciting news and exclusive insights into the world of track and field. Make your Thursday night be at HP's place. Come hang out with us at HP Chat Track Studio.